Love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love. Sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Your summer starts now with Memorial Day deals at the Home Depot. It's time to fire up summer cookouts with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill on special buy for only $199. And entertain all season with the Hampton Bay West Grove 7-piece outdoor dining set for only $499. This Memorial Day, get low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. While supplies last, pricing valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
This is your home for the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks and the NBA Finals. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
And the clock ticks down from 8 to 7 to 6 and all the way to 0. Final score in Game 4, 130 to 93. And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are Eastern Conference champions.
The most appropriate word I heard last night was bludgeoning. That was a bludgeoning, and there have been many bludgeonings of the Knicks in this postseason. It's Bart and Carlin in ESPN New York on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. Now, listen, we have given you a bit of a respite today. Knicks win the conference finals. Knicks are headed to the finals. I know you've heard the word Pistons and the words Cade Cunningham, perhaps a little too much of late, so we took Bart out today. This is your own conference championship celebration. He is out. He's also getting some wisdom teeth removed. But Pat O'Keefe is here, Knicks fans. What's going on, brother?
Rose-colored glasses and all.
Exactly.
Good to be here.
Hey, listen, for once, wear whatever color glasses you want, because this has been unbelievable, and I can't get over what's happened here. And I don't think in the moment, I'll only speak for myself here. I know how much people are enjoying this, but I don't know that we really understand the level of history that we are seeing with what is going on right now.
I think that's the biggest thing. It's obviously as exciting as it can be. It's a lot of Knicks fans, many have waited an entire lifetime just to see them get to this point. So that's part one. But when you add into it that layer, that bludgeoning layer, and the historic level to which they are winning these games and dominating these playoff opponents. I mean, Knicks fans are conditioned year after year. The season ends. They watch the conference finals, other teams play. They watch the NBA finals, other teams play. Sometimes you get an historically good team, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, the KD and Steph Golden State Warriors, and it's a pipe dream. What would it be like to root for a team that can play at that level for such a sustained period of time? And we are living it right now. The Knicks fans are experiencing it right now. Their team, and they're still 4 wins away, so we're not handing them the Larry O'Brien trophy yet, but the Knicks are playing at that level.
This is prime Mike Tyson, what's going on right now. This is not just beating teams, not just being dominant through the postseason. It's doing it night in and night out. And it's been scary the way it's happened. Because whenever there was a Mike Tyson fight back in the 90s and late 80s when it was prime Mike Tyson, there was a fear in the air for the opponent. And there was a fear in action and an excitement in seeing what was a destruction machine just taking everyone out of his way. And that's what this has become. So let's consider all this for a second, Pat. You have them winning closeout games by an average of 39 points, which, by the way, the average went down last night.
It did.
With the 37-point win. You have 12 straight wins?
11 straight.
11 straight wins in the postseason. That's happened before, but again, by an average of 24 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one thing that we still don't factor in nearly enough is that all of this is happening after a team completely, from one game to the next, changed how they played offensively and completely switched up their system so that they would be less predictable, and they have been playing this offense as if it was the Phil Jackson Bulls playing the triangle offense for 10 years. And I don't know how that has happened in the span of a month and a half.
It's amazing. It happened seemingly overnight. You know, you lose Game 3 in Atlanta, and the thought is, they jumped the gun. They got rid of a coach who brought them to the conference finals. It just never clicked with this group. What sorts of changes are you going to make? And then there was that Saturday night game in Atlanta, and they come out from the jump, and it just looks crisper. You throw Cat at the high post, the offense is running through him, and they literally haven't looked back since then. And I think back to a lot of the regular season games the last 2 months. This was a horrible regular season for the NBA as a whole because of the tanking perspective. And by the last 6 weeks of the regular season, there were 10 teams, a third of the league, actively trying to lose games. I remember being down in Memphis in early April doing a game, Knicks-Grizzlies. It was horrible basketball to watch because the Grizzlies are actively trying to lose games. The Knicks right now are beating playoff opponents, conference finals opponents, easier than they were beating regular season teams that were actively trying to lose games. That is the level of dominance that we're seeing from this team right now.
And I have to tell you, you can take your weak lineup of opponents and stick it. I mean, all they have done, what are they supposed to do to make you happy? They have not just beaten those opponents, they have beaten the daylights and taken the will and stepped on the soul and broken the necks of those opponents along the way to not even give them a sniff. Last night, game's over at the end of the first quarter, and they were only up 10, but game was over. I never thought that Cleveland had a chance before this game. I thought that game one was going to take their will out of them completely when they had that happen, and I don't think I was the only one who thought that, and we saw what happened. But I don't know how you are a coach and try to motivate a team and get them all fired up and then seemingly have your will taken in the first half of all these games and never have much of a chance. I don't know how that happens.
On your home floor, too. And the first 3 minutes last night, They came out hot. Donovan Mitchell, more aggressive, hit a couple of three-pointers. It's 8-2. The crowd's into it, and you're thinking, maybe this is a last stand, because this is not a Cleveland team. And you're right. Forget about the weak opponents. This is a team with 4 All-Stars. This is a team with 2 future Hall of Famers.
Yes!
An All-NBA player this year. This is not a weak opponent. At the beginning of this season, the 2 favorites to come out of the Eastern Conference were the 2 teams that played last night. Boston wasn't included in that, and Detroit wasn't included in that. And I'm sorry, I know I'm not supposed to mention the Pistons on this show this morning.
That's okay. We're not going to find you today.
This is a good team with 4 All-Stars on it, and the Knicks withstood that early 8-2 run. Within a blink of an eye, it was 8-7. The Knicks took the lead, and they rolled over, and that was it. And the same thing that the 76ers did last round after they had beaten the vaunted Boston Celtics. The same thing that the Atlanta Hawks did. And it happened at the same point of every single game. Mid to late first quarter, the Knicks go on a run. They take the opposing team's crowd out of it, and they just absolutely roll and bludgeon them from there.
All right, let's hear some of what the Knicks had to say last night. First of all, here is Mike Brown on taking game 4.
You guys played great. I said it all along. My staff has been unbelievable. The players, they're unbelievable. I mean, you're in the playoffs, you're in the conference finals, and you score 65 points off of offensive rebounds and fast break points. I don't know if I've ever seen that before at this point in the year. So I give our guys a lot of credit for sticking to the game plan and really trying to push the pace, because that's what we wanted to do coming into this series. 41%, 42%, 93 points against a team that's of their offensive caliber. It was just amazing. Again, coaching staff came up with a fantastic game plan, and our players went out there and executed it.
Why I thought the game was over after the first quarter was exactly what happened with, number one, all the transition points, 26 first half transition points, fast break points. That's unfathomable, and that's more than most teams have in games. And then number two, the Cavs gave up 38 points this time in the first quarter. Again, after giving up 37. Like, that's inexcusable. That, to me, already tells you defensively that they have given up and you have completely broken them, even though it's a 10-point game. They just kept trying to play better offensively, and that never worked for them in this series.
Brown hit on all the points. First of all, the transition baskets in the first quarter, that was CYO stuff. That was like one team against another team that they shouldn't be matched up. It was a simple matter of, you shoot the ball, you miss. You got one guy down the court, you look up, the other team doesn't run back. I coach a lot of CYO basketball, not necessarily at this level. That's CYO basketball stuff that the Knicks were pulling on the Cavs last night. That's not supposed to happen in a conference championship. So you've got that aspect, the transition points. Well, when the Knicks weren't scoring in transition, they were dominating the offensive boards. Cat, that putback dunk during the 20-0 run, I think it capped the 20-0 run. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson was on the court for seemingly 4 minutes of the first quarter, and he had an enormous impact hitting the offensive board. So when you weren't doing it in transition, you were doing it points in the paint, offensive rebound, three-point shooting, bench scoring, literally every metric, every analytic, to quote the Cavaliers head coach, that you could look at last night. The Knicks not only had the advantage, they dominated it.
In every single way. So what did Mike Brown think about this team back when he took the job? Did he know this was a finals team?
Again, our business is funny. My previous job supposedly took him to a point that was higher, and, it didn't work out. So, again, I truly felt that this team was an NBA Finals team. I thought we had a true opportunity, because some jobs you take, you're like, okay, we can get better. We have a chance to make the playoffs right now. But this one, I felt we legitimately had a chance if we could help them figure it out. The players can stay together during the process, especially when we hit adversity, because we hit adversity at different times during the season, not just us as a whole group, but even some guys individually, including myself. And so, I did have that belief from day one. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but we're here, and there's a lot of people to thank because of it, but it starts with the players.
Well, this was the expectation, and this is probably what has me more excited than anything else, is there was a conscious effort on the Knicks' part to, yes, enjoy the moment, but not to celebrate. Certainly there's no thought of celebration, because this is what was expected. The owner put it out there at the beginning of January, and it certainly has made no bones about the fact that he expects them to win a title. And when you look at how they have been functioning over the course of the last month and a half, I don't think I've ever seen teams do it at this level before. I mean, just even seeing Brunson show up in all black last night. Like that, and some of the Knicks showing up in all black for the funeral to put him away. I mean, there is something to all of it.
And how many times has that come back to bite them? Remember, they tried that against the Celtics. What was that, in 2013?
Yep.
And they ended up winning the series. But I think they were up 3-0. They showed up in all black. They lost that game. J.R. Smith threw an elbow, got suspended. They lost the next game. They almost blew Game 6. They did win this. But even that is something that in the past has kind of come back to bite the Knicks. But that's part of like the larger, I think, theme here, where what we're seeing is definitely unprecedented for the Knicks. It's also unprecedented in NBA history, this level of dominance that they're doing in the postseason. And I think that there's I think two sets of emotions for Knicks fans today. There's the obvious joy that the team has gotten into the NBA Finals for the first time in nearly 3 decades. It's been a long time, for people of our age range to see that. And for people younger than us, and there are quite a few of them now, Chris, they've never seen the Knicks get to this level.
Well, that's before. The other thing, is I've heard a lot of, over the last several years, and I'm not going to lie, I've been one of them. A lot of people kind of make the comment of like, all these celebrations after, just winning a playoff game and things like that, kind of act like you've been there before, and then you realize they haven't. They never knew what this looked like. This was a 20-year period. There is such a large segment of this fan base that had no idea what the 90s looked like, that were not even alive when that happened, and had no concept of why those teams were so beloved the way they are, and they are now getting their first chance to enjoy this run. And I feel like, Pat, I don't know. Time goes by so quickly, especially in the course of series like this. and especially the way the Knicks are playing, I feel like, are you really enjoying it enough in the moment? I think, in particular, that sect of Knicks fans, the ones who have never been here before, are really being able to take it all in. I don't know that anybody can fully appreciate what we're watching until it's over with, but just of living in the moment of what this is, I don't think there's any question they are.
Yeah. And because it has not been experienced by the vast majority of people, I think, that are listening to us. And, the 2 years that I obviously have to compare it to are 94 and 99, and they were both very different. 94, when they went to the finals, you really thought they were going to win.
This was a breakthrough year. Jordan was gone.
Jordan was gone.
Yep.
They were pushed more than you would have thought during the conference finals against the Pacers. You survived that. Ewing had his moment. The arms extended in Game 7 at the Garden. You had a tough matchup against, and unfortunately for the Knicks, Olajuwon proved in that series that he was just a notch higher than Patrick Ewing. And I think up until that time, most Knicks fans didn't recognize that, and they missed their opportunity. And then in 99, I think there was the euphoria of the narrative, the 8th seed. You beat the Heat. You hated them because of what had happened in 97. You knocked them out on Allen Houston's shot. Next thing you know, Ewing is done with an injury. You've got to reconfigure the way you play. But then you get to the finals and you look up and it's the Spurs with David Robinson still kind of in his prime and Tim Duncan just coming in his prime.
Yeah.
And you don't have Patrick Ewing. I think when the Knicks got to the finals in 99, I think the fans were happy to be there, not thinking they had much of a chance to win.
Nobody thought they were going to be there at the time.
No, exactly. And then once they got there, it was almost an impossible task to beat that team with that size. This is completely different. Again, unprecedented. This is a different type of feeling. How can you feel any other way than you have? And I recognize whoever they play is going to be either a great team or a potentially great team with a great player, okay? So they're going to play a better team than they've played at any point so far this year. But how can you go into this finals as a Knicks fan thinking anything other than you've got a real shot to win the NBA championship over the next couple of weeks?
And I don't think it matters anymore. I thought this yesterday. Whoever it is on the other side of the court, let's see it. That's fine. Not worried about anybody right now. And I'm not saying you're going to do what just happened through the course of these playoffs to whether it's the Spurs or the Thunder, but I like their chances to win. I like their chances to win to win the championship. I honestly do, because I've never seen this before. I can't remember, Pat. We've seen teams in playoffs be dominant, but not winning games like this, not just blowing the doors off of everybody. And I was trying to think about it in this town where we've seen it. The 86 Giants were 14-2. They beat the 49ers 49-3. They shut out the Redskins, and then they hammered the Broncos. That was a dominant football team. The Yankees of the late 90s were a dominant team. And, 98, they obviously won 125 games all told, but they had actually fallen behind in a series, too, in that postseason. And then they went on to win. And then 99, they only lost one postseason game. I don't know that I have seen this, though, of we're not just beating everybody. We're leaving no doubt in it. And I hate to go back to it, but it's just unprecedented to see a team completely change the identity of what their offense was to run it so differently. And not only that, Pat, and this is where I don't think if it's possible, I don't think we're talking about Jalen Brunson enough. To have that superstar player who was used to playing with the ball in his hand the entire time adapt so well and play better in this new offense and make it more efficient. And everybody is not just scoring, but everybody is part of what's going on. Everything just flows so much better. But have him, how many times do we talk about, like, guys pouting when they don't get the ball in their hands or when they don't get to play the way they want to play? And this is unbelievable to watch this now.
Yeah, think about it. He scores 15 points last night. In the 3 closeout games, all of them on the road, Jalen Brunson has not been on the floor for a single second in any fourth quarter. I mean, that's just wild.
I mean, last night they scored 130 points, Pat. Nobody scored 20.
Yeah.
And that's the first time that's ever happened in NBA history. And really, nobody scored 20 because they weren't playing in the fourth quarter at all.
But that's happened time and time again in these playoffs. But, the comparisons that you make, and I know the sports are different, football and basketball and baseball, especially baseball to basketball, the nature of the game, there's more blowouts in basketball. But even, the 98 Yankees, and in my lifetime, that and along with the 86 Giants, I think are the most dominant New York teams that I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
The 98 Yankees, you're right, they fell behind 2-1 to Cleveland in the ALCS.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1 of the World Series, if it wasn't for Rich Garcia calling a ball on, was it Mark Langston, the pitcher, to Tino Martinez, right
Next
before
pitch.
Tino hits the grand slam, Yankees still probably win that series, but the Knicks are blowing teams out in each and every game.
It's similar to what the Knicks did in Game 1 of this series. That was when they stepped on the soul.
Yeah.
It was twice in that series.
Yes.
When they stepped on the soul of the Padres. That and then when Brocious homered against Hoffman.
Yeah, absolutely. But they were tested in individual games. Except for Game 1 of this series, the Knicks were not tested in any game. The only 2 games they have been tested in since they trailed 2-1 were Game 2 against Philly and Game 1 against Cleveland.
They're going to have a stretch here of about 25 days where they only would have played 4 games.
Wow.
Because they had the 9 days off before the conference finals, and they're going to have 9 days off after the conference finals. I mean, that's unbelievable. Like, you talk about worried about rust and all that. We saw that for, if you want to believe in that, we saw that for 3/4 of a game in the first game. I'm not worried about any of that. I'm not worried about, there's nothing that can plug any doubt in my mind about what's happening right now. That's unbelievable to even consider.
Yeah, that is. And it caught up to them. There was a lot of conversation before Game 1 against Cleveland. Rest versus rust. Would the Knicks be rusty? They were rusty. They shot 2 for 19 from 3-point range in the first half. They were clicking on a very high level coming into that series. They sat for a week and a half. They shot 2 for 19. They were rusty. You don't think this team's now going to go to school on what happened, why they came out so slowly? They get to do it all over again, except they get to do it better, just like they just did it better in the conference finals. They learned from the conference finals experience last year. And credit to the Knicks last year. Yes, Game 1 ultimately sunk them when they blew that game to the Pacers, but they didn't roll over like we just saw Cleveland do. The Knicks fought back. They were down 2-0 after losing the first 2 games at home. They still fought back. They still got that series to 6 games, but ultimately it was Game 1 that sunk them. They were never able to recover. They went to school. They had a completely different approach and mindset to the conference finals this year. I think they'll do the same thing in terms of how to handle the long layoff before Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
It's Bart Carlin on ESPN New York. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today because we didn't want to subject you to that. On this day where you get to celebrate every aspect of what this Knicks team has accomplished and still has it in front of them, here is Jalen Brunson on being the face of the Knicks reemergence.
I think first and foremost it means a lot that the belief that the organization has in me, from Mr. Dolan down to Leon, Wes, coaching staff, and obviously my teammates. It means a lot, and it's something I haven't really put into perspective and thought about because, as I said before, now we're still writing our story, and so I think in due time I'll be able to answer that in full entirety, but I like the journey that we're on right now.
Listen, I don't know that we're ever going to be able to fully express how wrong, and let's be fair, the majority of us were about Jalen Brunson, because you can see a lot of those montages today of all the talking heads talking about how dumb it was to have Jalen Brunson be the centerpiece of your organization. And wait a second, this guy, that's what we're doing? And if you ask people in that organization today, there's no way they saw this coming. I'm not talking about the finals. I'm talking about Jalen Brunson becoming this player and becoming a superstar and a number 1 player in an organization.
For a winning organization.
Yeah.
For one that goes to this level. There have been teams that have been led by guys of his stature. Maybe not necessarily his quote-unquote athletic ability, because I don't think that's something that jumps off the charts, but that doesn't take into account everything else. You know, the mental game, the footwork, just the kind of guy he is. And more, and obviously more people now that at any point are paying attention to this Knicks team, you're realizing this is a different dude, and this is a special dude. And who knows? I mean, his legacy, there's more on the line for his legacy than anyone else over the next couple of weeks. But he has a chance to come out of this, if the Knicks can finish the job, as one of the most beloved athletes in the history of New York sports. No question about it.
Bart Carlin on ESPN New York. I want to get in some of the comments here as well, because you need to get in on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. Watch the show, but be a part of the show. Black Metronome checking in. Oh, that's Pat O'Keefe. I thought Bart was looking a little pale. That's nice. Also, let's see here. No Hero Ball can't spell destiny without NY. All right, settle down. And a couple of others. When you look at, where is this last one? Oh, Becky Hammond looking so bad now for what she said. Listen, get in line. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people today who look bad. I never thought Jalen Brunson was this. And if any of you are out there saying that you thought Jalen Brunson was this, you're lying and you know it. Everybody, I don't know, even the most diehard of Knicks fans who has never seen them in their own eyes do anything wrong, who felt like Eddie Curry was wronged in this town, that even that Knicks fan cannot sit there and say, you saw this coming from Jalen Brunson. So, we're just getting started. Pat's here today. We're excited to have him. We were not going to subject you to Bart after the Knicks won the conference finals, so you don't have to hear the words Detroit today. Also, he's having oral surgery and getting a wisdom tooth taken out, so he can't actually speak.
So he's not saying that to anybody.
Exactly. It's Bart and Carlin. We're just getting started. 800-919-3776. Watch the show on YouTube. Participate in the show on YouTube. It's all you all day long, Knicks fans. All you all day long.
Calling all Hoops fans, are you ready for the NBA playoffs? Get in on the action throughout basketball's most exciting time of the year with BetMGM, an authorized gaming operator of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night of the playoffs. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today. Make your bets and experience the thrill of the NBA playoffs like never before. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
It's been a busy morning coming back to work on a Tuesday after the long weekend. Route 78 eastbound with an overturned vehicle at exit 24 in New Jersey at Oldwick. At least one lane closed. Get with Route 22. Route 82 at Union. That's closed because of a crash involving a PSE&G truck, a bus, and other vehicles. And that's closed westbound side 82 by Liberty Avenue and Springfield Avenue. 25 minutes still. George Washington Bridge, Lincoln and Holland tunnels. Back to New Jersey 287 southbound. An accident by exit 47. And that is at Montville, and at least one lane is blocked. NJ Transit trains are okay. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
D'Agostino, Law, Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates. Did you know Social Security takes money out of every paycheck you earn? Paycheck after paycheck. And you're not supposed to touch that money until you're 67? What if you can't work? What if you need that money now? The system is challenging and most people get denied. That's a fact. D'Agostino & Associates has the experience to win, and we win a lot. If you filed for Social Security disability benefits and were denied, let us appeal. Call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. Bite Back means fight back. 1-800-248-3222. We'll fight to get you paid. D'Agostino & Associates has offices throughout New York and New Jersey and handles Social Security disability claims and appeals. Remember, if you've been denied, call us first. 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. D'Agostino & Associates. We win. a lot.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. I'm big on having the right game plan on the ice and at home, which is why I use Viking Pest Control myself as the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils. Viking has been protecting homes for over 45 years with expert pest control service and solutions tailored just for you. From ants and cockroaches to rodents, stinging insects, and backyard mosquitoes, Viking keeps pests out of your house and out of the play. Bundle pest control with mosquito services and save big. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Viking Pest Control, protecting your home inside and out.
The New York City Department of Correction offers countless career opportunities, from specialized units to leadership roles that support public safety and change lives for the better. It starts with one step: registering for the New York City Correction Officer exam. Earn over $109,000 after just 5.5 years. Benefits on day one, job security, pension at any age after 22 years of service. Go to nyc.gov/joinDOC or search Join DOC. One career, many opportunities. Registration ends Friday. Take the test.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. Why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They are draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do, because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, you're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SMART for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code SMART. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SMART for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SMART.
It's all you, all day, Knick fans. All you, all day. 800-919-3776. Jalen Brunson on the organization's belief in him.
Like I said before, I mean, like, the belief that the organization has in me has been amazing. And it's something I don't take for granted. And it's something that not a lot of people get the opportunity to do so. So I'm very thankful. And it's an honor to be here in this city and for this organization and this with my teammates. And yeah, obviously these guys have my back, and they've always had it. And we're going to share that for the world.
And listen, the guy has proven to be just one of the greatest stars this town has ever seen in terms of the face of an organization and what he has become. And frankly, an unsuspecting superstar in face of an organization, because I don't know that any of us would have ever considered that this was actually a possibility, as we've talked about.
He's putting together a Derek Jeter type legacy.
Yes, he is.
You need to win the championship to be in that, but he's as close now as he's ever been. And in some respects, you look back at Jeter and you marvel at what he was able to do over 20 years, how he carried himself. But let's be honest, Alex Rodriguez said something to this ilk in that Esquire magazine article in like 1998, which caused the rift between the two of them. Derek Jeter did not have to carry the load on the Yankees that Jalen Brunson has to carry on the Knicks. Nobody on the Yankees. And I know it's tough to compare sports, but between the load that he carries, the way that he carries himself, this is a Derek Jeter type legacy that he's putting together in New York.
That's Pat O'Keefe in for Bart today, 800-919-3776. Let us get to you because it is your day. You also should be participating over on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. Watch the show there and get your comments in as well. We will start today with Rashad in the Bronx, who's got to be rolling right now. Rashad, what's up, brother?
Oh, what's up, Keith? What's up, Pat? What's up, Chris? Yeah. I'm like almost speechless a little bit. I can't believe I'm seeing the Knicks make the finals in my lifetime. The last time I seen them make the finals, I was only 8 years old. I can't believe this is happening. And to your point about Brunson, you remember I actually called you a few times, and I was one of the guys defending Brunson before he signed with the Knicks. But I always said he even exceeded my expectations.
I don't listen. Pat made this comment off the air, and lay it out for him. Make the comment if you will, if you remember what I'm talking about, and just what Brunson has been the entirety of his college and professional career.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been someone who people were telling him what he cannot do. I mean, here's a guy who's the #1 high school recruit in the country out of Illinois, son of a former NBA player, not a big star, but NBA pedigree. Rick Brunson's son goes to Villanova, wins 2 national championships, National Player of the Year his junior year in 2018, and that's still not enough to get him drafted in the first round. He gets drafted early in the second round by Dallas, and the thought is, okay, maybe he could be a solid rotation player off the bench, like a 7th, 8th guy, a backup point guard type player. And that's how he started his NBA career. And then, of course, he gets better and better, gets more of a role with Dallas. He has that great playoff series in 2022 when he takes over when Luke is hurt for a couple of games. And then he comes to New York, and all the commentary is how $106 million for a guy who's maybe not even a top 10 point guard in the NBA. You can't build your team around a guy like that. This guy has spent his entire basketball life proving people wrong after they have told him what he can't do. And he doesn't do it obnoxiously. He does it through hard work by putting his head down and just doing his job.
Yes, he's all about business. That's what I like about Brunson. All straight business. No extracurricular activities. Just straight business. Get the job done. And I'm hyped right now. I'm hyped. Let's just get 4 more wins and complete the whole magical season.
Listen, it's been unreal. And then this came last night, and I got a chance to see a decent amount of the postgame. And Alan Hahn said this, and this is from Seth in the chat. Alan Hahn said last night that Clyde compared him to Willis Reed. Clyde has never done that before with anybody. And it really kind of caught a lot of attention. To think about what Clyde is saying in that as a player, as a leader, and this is the greatest player in the history of this organization saying that in Clyde.
But he has Willis Reed up here.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate enough to have some conversations with him, and that's as high praise as you can get. He reveres Willis Reed as a friend, as a teammate, and as a leader. And I think that's what he's talking about. That is the kind of guy who Jalen Brunson is. And Mike Breen had said this. He was on our pregame show before Game 2 of the Cleveland series. You remember Game 1 when they fall behind by 22, and he gets his guys in the huddle, Brunson, during the timeout, and kind of gets into them a little bit. And I asked Breen about that, how it was the full Brunson experience on the court, off the court, in game number 1. And Breen, who's around the team as much as anybody, says, yeah, he's very vocal with his teammates. Like, he knows his role, and they look up to him in a similar fashion to a couple of generations ago, the way Clyde and his teammates looked up to Willis Reed.
Let's hit Merv in Winfield next. Merv, what's up, brother? You're headed to the finals.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Where the hell are you, Merv?
Yo, how are you guys?
There
hey,
we go.
Pat.
What's up, Merv?
Man, I just want to say I love listening to you on the radio. You're awesome. You guys are awesome, man. You put the game right in front of me without even seeing it.
I appreciate
He's
that.
talking
Thank
to you.
Thank you, Merv.
Yeah. So, all right, so let's get to it. Like, this is like 94 to me. 99 was good, but 94 was my first real time ever seeing a championship run and stuff. And this is just, like, they are speechless. Like, this is great, and they got to get their respect somehow, too. Like, they won 11 games in a row. People don't do that. The way they're blowing everyone out, even Bart keeps on going back to this team. They only played this team and that team. Well, Bart, if your team beat that team, we would have been playing Detroit. So at the end of the day, you play who's in front of you, you beat who's in front of you, and we go get that championship. What do you guys think?
Listen, I don't think that there's any discussion about that. There shouldn't be any discussion about who they beat. What are you supposed to do? Not only did they beat them, they destroyed them. They destroyed the opponents that you put in front of them through this whole run after the first 3 games of series number 1. They have it's been a machine. This has been prime Mike Tyson, what the Knicks have done. So what exactly are you supposed to do with the teams that they put in front of you that advance? I don't really care at this point, and it's got me who I think people would probably say I'm as skeptical as anybody. I am cranky in general. I can't believe how much I believe in what's going on right now that I don't care whether it's the Thunder or the Spurs right now, the way the Knicks are playing at the moment.
No. The way that they're playing at the moment, if they can continue playing, and we don't know if that will be the case, because I do think that the opponent will be of higher quality no matter who they meet in the finals. But you and I were talking off air during the last break. What if the Thunder was putting together this stretch right now? Or what if the Spurs were putting together this stretch? Or even the Boston Celtics, if they were doing this right now? I do think that there would be more of a belief nationwide that this is a runaway train and a juggernaut. I don't think that's the case yet because it's the Knicks, and it goes back to the fact that there's no precedent for this franchise ever having done this before, even in their greatest years in the early 70s.
Okay, but I think that's the thing, is that Celtics have won a championship recently. The Thunder won the championship last year. The Spurs have the history that they have, and they have what you would probably call the most dominant player in the sport right now. So I think that's why that is. Yes, because it's the Knicks. Yes, because their superstar is 6 feet tall. Mm-hmm. Yes, because Karl Anthony Towns, who was thought of as an afterthought star player, I think, by a lot of people, especially during the course of this season. Listen, a lot of us were sitting here questioning whether or not Cat could be a big part of a championship-level team, and he has more than proven that at this point. I think they looked at the pieces of what this was compared to what those other teams either A, already done, or B, have in place for what's coming. 800-919-3776. It's Bart and Carlin. Pat O'Keefe is in today for Bart. Let's see here. Warfightem. I got to stop trying to read the names on the chat. Like, first of all, A, I'm going to get in trouble because I'm going to read something that I don't even realize what I'm saying. And B, like, Warfightem, I don't even know what that means. The Knicks hate is so real. They beat the hottest team in the league in the Hawks, the Sixers, with their full squad, the Cavs with their full squad. Snyder, Nurse, Atkinson, all baffled. Well, what I would say about that is, like, let's be real about what happened with the Sixers. Embiid missed a good portion of that series, but it didn't have anything to do with what the ultimate outcome is. Those teams were all just outplayed completely.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. The Knicks are playing. The Knicks are the best team in the Eastern Conference. They're playing the best. And if you want to spin it forward into what do the NBA Finals look like, the Knicks are the healthiest team going into the NBA Finals.
Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today because we're not going to subject you to Bart today because it's your day. 800-919-3776.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale this Thursday, May 28th at usopen.org. The U.S. Open. Spectacular awaits.
Hey, New York and New Jersey, Boost Mobile has an unlimited talk, text, and data plan that's only $25 a month forever, meaning you'll only ever pay $25 a month for the rest of your life. Who wouldn't want unlimited wireless when it only costs $25 a month forever? If you don't, you must be one of those people who enjoy overpaying for their phone plan. $25 a month forever is truly as good as it gets. So go online and switch now at boostmobile.com. After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Mobile Unlimited plan.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are headed to the NBA Finals.
And the 27-year wait is over. They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. 4 wins away from an NBA championship.
This group got tighter and more accountable as the days got closer to June.
Thanks to all our New York Knicks partners this season, including ZipRecruiter, Amazon Hub Delivery, Princeton Jeep, and Food Bazaar on ESPN New York.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go.
It's fantastic. It's great to see. It's great that Leon and Mr. Dolan had these guys around. Obviously, Pat, he's iconic, and then you got John Starks and Marbury, and, there's just a plethora of other guys that you see come to our games, and we encourage that. I love it, and they always have a nugget or two that they can pass on to the guys that are actually playing now, and when you can hear it from different voices or different people, especially guys that played, because I didn't play, I was terrible, but from guys that played, it means a ton. And so to see them be able to celebrate with us and joy on their face, it's priceless.
All those legends in attendance last night, watching that, seeing Ewing and Clyde handing over the trophies last night was pretty awesome too. I mean, for Pete's sake, Stephon Marbury is starting chants on airplanes. It's absolutely insane what's going on, and everybody is enjoying the hell out of it. There's still part of me that doesn't even necessarily feel it because it's been so dominating that you don't have the emotions, Pat, that are normally associated with the roller coaster of the playoffs. Like when you watch the 90s Knicks, you knew every game was a rock fight and a war, and you were going to you were sitting on the edge of your seat the entire game. And now you haven't had really too many moments of this postseason where it's been genuine concern about anything.
Even this era of Knicks basketball, and I know it hasn't achieved this level of success until now, but the last couple of years, every series seemed to be a grinded-out affair. And maybe that was a product of the fact that their head coach, who deserves a lot of credit, and I'm talking about the former head coach, Tom Thibodeau, was a product of the 90s Knicks.
Yeah.
But, you think about the first-round series the last couple of years. Philadelphia, Detroit, tough, hard-fought, grinded-out series. Then, the Indiana series, same. It was almost kind of like a repeat of what the 90s were. Now, in the 90s, the Knicks did get to this NBA Finals level a couple of times. And again, I think that's why this feels so different, because Knicks fans are conditioned to feel like the playoffs are supposed to feel like they were the last couple of years or the way they were in the 90s. They're not conditioned to experience Knicks playoff basketball the way that they're enjoying it or consuming it now.
All right, let's hit it. 800-919-3776. Pat O'Keefe in for Bart today. David and Elizabeth, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's going on, Pat? What's going on? Chef, say it with me, my brother. Street sweepers. Yeah.
Dude.
Street sweepers, yeah. You know what's crazy, Chef? I wish your partner was here, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell him when he comes back online as well. Get your best suit and hard bottoms ready. We're going to the big dance. Pat, you coming too. We're going to the big dance, fellas. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it's starting to hit me right now. Last night it didn't hit me. I'm like, yo, we're really going. And, man, it's just beautiful, man. It's beautiful, fellas. As you can see, I can't even talk straight because I'm so excited. Like, it's crazy because when our guard got here, what I thought of is I'm like, oh, we're beautiful. Melo's gone. Now they finally got a point guard. But to be honest, he was the savior. I know he doesn't want that credit. You know, he's humble. He just sticks. You know, he's a hard worker. Man, I don't know. I'm excited, man. We're going to the big dance, Chef.
Well,
we're going to the dance.
D,
appreciate you.
I appreciate you. We'll talk to you plenty, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. To your point about Jalen, it actually allows you to have this conversation. And there will be people around the country today that will say, oh, my God, it's recency bias. What are you doing? That's absurd. Whatever. Consider everything. Consider who else we're talking about on the teams that you would think about in this regard. Consider what the guy has meant to the organization in terms of just signifying an entire turnaround. Jalen Brunson is very much in the discussion of the greatest free agent signings of all time in the NBA. You obviously would talk about the likes of LeBron, both in Miami and in Cleveland. Well, here's what I'd say about that. You go to Miami, Dwayne Wade had already won a championship, and he's going back and re-signing, and you're bringing Bosh with you. Okay. LeBron going back to Cleveland. Yes, that put them back atop the sport and won them their first championship ever. However, it made them an instant favorite in the East when he went back there. So that was a team that, when he had been there the first time, had already been to the finals and just had not gotten over the hump. Okay. Shaq in L.A. went there. Obviously, he's joining Kobe at that point, and they became what they became. Who was Jalen Brunson joining here to sit, and who was Jalen Brunson when he signed? You think about all of the after effects of what happened, you can make the case he's the greatest free agent signing in the history of the league.
I think you could make the case because a big thing you have to factor in, and you kind of said it, was where was the organization before he got here? You know, and a couple of other things to add to that. LeBron James going to Cleveland, very high up on the list. But you're right, it did make them instant favorites. LeBron James, as he was known to do throughout his career, was also maneuvering things as he came in. Remember, they had the number one pick in the draft, Andrew Wiggins.
Yep.
And he said, I will come if you trade this pick to Minnesota to bring me Kevin Love. Jalen Brunson didn't do anything like that. To answer your question, who did Jalen Brunson team up with and what was he? What was he was a guy who a lot of people were thought was overpaid with that $106 million contract. And who was he joining? He was joining Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett. And from there to here, it's a great point. Kevin Durant is another name that we discussed. He joined a team, though, that had already won a championship and then had won 73 games and gotten to Game 7 of the finals the next year. So I can't put him in that class.
And we were all knocking Durant at the time for taking the easy route to win a championship.
By the way, I still am.
Yes.
And I still think he did.
Yes, of course. And then Durant went out and tried to do it on his own because everybody was telling him he needed to do it on his own, and he couldn't.
He could not.
And because he trusted the wrong people.
So where does that land us? And think about this. That lands us Shaq in 96 or Jalen Brunson in 2022. Just look at those two human beings.
Is there anybody we're missing?
Possibly.
I mean, I'm sure there is, but not at this level.
But you're comparing Shaq, one of the greatest physical specimen and dominant forces this game has ever seen, with Jalen Brunson. Like, that's who's in this category. And if you want to include LeBron James going to Cleveland, but I also put him in the category of one of the greatest physical specimens this game has ever seen. Jalen Brunson's not that.
No question. LeBron, I know I've always had this discussion in the LeBron Jordan thing. LeBron had more physical gifts than Jordan did. And it's not a knock on LeBron. He has made the most of them, just as Jordan did with what he did, and he never lost a championship. Reggie in Harlem is next, ESPN New York. Reggie, what's going on?
Sickening, man.
Sickening?
The Knicks is not winning no finals, man. They're not winning the championship, man.
Reggie, what are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a native New Yorker. And they're not going to win the finals, man. All of that themes and comparing to Derek Jeter's legacy. And don't think that Jalen Brunson is going to own New York like Reggie did or no like Clyde did. It's not going to happen, man. Y'all just overjoyed.
If Jalen Brunson wins a championship with the Knicks, he will absolutely own New York just as much as Reggie did. And here's the one thing I've heard a lot this week, Pat, and I don't think people have a full understanding of it. Baseball has always been the biggest sport in the town, but the Knicks unite the town because everybody's a Knicks fan. Nets may as well move. just get out. Yeah. Go to Seattle. New Jersey's trying to get him back. Be like, yeah, come on back.
They might already have them, and we just didn't notice.
Exactly. The Knicks unite everybody in this town. There's no two ways about that.
It's so much fun right now, and I was walking here from the train this morning. It's a beautiful day. The weekend weather sucked. Memorial Day weekend sucked. All right, it was cushioned by the fact that the Knicks had those two performances are going to the finals, but it's a gorgeous spring. This is when I was growing up in Yonkers, New York, as a Knicks fan in the 90s, great teams, relevant teams. You know, every single year you get to this time of year, late May, early June, your team's still playing. The weather is gorgeous. Everybody in New York is in on this one team. There's no Yankees versus Mets. There's no division Giants versus Jets, Islanders versus Rangers. Everybody is in on the Knicks. There is nothing in the sports calendar, in my opinion, like early June when the Knicks are still alive, making a run through the NBA playoffs, uniting the entire city.
There's some rough comments about Reggie calling in there.
The worst take of the morning, and we have 2 hours to go.
Yeah, I mean, I was wrong, man.
Goodness. That was Reggie last year.
That was it. And he's not even admitting it right now. And honestly, look at some of the chat comments. This call is a psychopath. Let's do this, Lucas. A couple of the other guys, Reggie's a hater, always has been. There are some really nasty things that I won't even say that. Khalil, all right, Carlin, stop giving me strays. What am I giving you strays about? Let's go. 800-919-3776. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today. It is a Knicks day, front to back. Bart is, all right, he's getting oral surgery, but we're not subjecting you to Bart today because it's your day on ESPN New York.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Partner with Amazon Hub Delivery to earn extra revenue for your business with your business. Assist with local Amazon deliveries and get paid for each package you deliver. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. You'll gain extra revenue, increase exposure for your business, and connect with your neighbors. Plus, it's easy to get started with no delivery experience, long-term contracts, or startup costs required. If you're interested in learning more, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale this Thursday, May 28th at usopen.org. The U.S. Open. Spectacular awaits.
There are small risks in life, like trying to guess someone's name you forgot.
Hey, remember me?
Of course. Samantha, how could I forget?
Who's Samantha?
Oh, will you excuse me?
We all take risks in life, but some risks just aren't worth it, like gambling without a plan. Set time limits and a spending budget before you gamble. To learn more, visit PlayResponsiblyNY.com. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
Dang, I forgot the wakeboard. How am I supposed to enjoy myself without my favorite water activity? I mean, sure, we could still go tubing, fishing, or even just relax on a floaty, but without the wakeboard, what's the point?
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station. This is Bart and Carlin.
The New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999.
I know how much people are enjoying it, but I don't know that we really understand the level of history that we are seeing with what is going on. This is prime Mike Tyson. This is not just beating teams, not just being dominant through the postseason. It's doing it night in and night out, and it's been scary the way it's happened.
This is Bart and Carlin on 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
What an amazing day. The Knicks are going to the finals for the first time since 1999. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today because we weren't going to subject you to Bart and the hater nation that he brings with him as a Pistons fan, and also he's having oral surgery. He should be back tomorrow. But anyway, it was a good day for him to have oral surgery because he might have sat here a little bit annoyed with all of what this is. Now, Pat, we got Jake Montgomery sitting down. Now, Jake is our social media guru here at ESPN New York, and last night went out into the streets. About what time did you leave to go? Did you decide I'm going to go out to the 7th Avenue and see what this is going to be? Is going to be.
I wanted to make sure that the Knicks had it, ready to go, and that seemed like after the first quarter. But after the third quarter, when they were up 20-25, you really felt the sense that they were about to head to the NBA Finals. So
so you just went right outside the Garden.
So I was right on 32nd and 33rd on 7th Avenue, and one of the coolest moments was when you really started to see all of the bars and all of the restaurants and the fans start to empty out into that central area and start to go crazy. The police were trying to barricade, but you can't stop the Knicks fans.
So when did it really did it start filling up before the game was over?
Yeah, there were fans there kind of watching at a viewing party and all different things, but you could start to see once the game ended, the crowds with the brooms and all of the props really start to go crazy.
The amazing thing is this didn't happen in the 90s.
No.
Right?
And 33rd wasn't, or was it 33rd?
That's true. It was different. It was different configuration.
Yeah.
But this is a relatively new phenomenon. I think it started 2 years ago with that run where they went and lost to the Pacers in the second round. But this is something that the Knicks fans have gotten criticism for, right?
Yep.
Recently, from throughout the country. Just the fact that this is what was the level of celebration compared to what you've seen during these runs?
I think the thing is people were saying it's an overreaction when they celebrate like that
game
after
one
game
against,
one,
yeah,
round one. But this is kind of warranted.
Yeah.
This is the first time I used the caption taking over 7th Avenue like it's 1999, and a lot of the comments were there wasn't even cell phones or social media in 1999. So,
and I don't even remember them going out on 7th Avenue and getting nuts like that. No. I mean, I remember being.
I might have been there.
Yeah, I do remember being there in Game 6 when they took the Pacers out in the conference finals to get to the final.
Yep.
But I don't remember, the street really filling up and people going nuts.
No, that's a relatively new phenomenon for the last couple of years.
And to remember, this was an away game. Like to see
It's not like people are piling out of the garden.
Exactly. To see a crowd like that when your team is on the road, there's really no fan base like the New York Knicks.
All right, so just give me a quick sense of what the whole scene was like. How long did it go for? How long were you out there? And did it ever get out of hand at any point?
No, there was no violence or anything too out of hand. You see people kind of climbing places where they probably...
They started climbing poles, right?
Yeah,
We're going to have to start greasing the poles like Philly? Is that the deal?
That might have to, be the case. But I was there for an hour or maybe two, and the party wasn't ending anytime soon. But I got what I needed from the content, and I headed home. But, I think the party probably went all night.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then as far as the police officers, what was that all about?
I actually went up to a police officer, and I said to him, I feel bad for you guys. You guys do a great job. And he said, don't feel bad for us. I love the Knicks. I love this. I've been waiting for this. So, shout out to the police officers. You guys do an unbelievable job. But, it can't be easy trying to taint. If the Knicks win the NBA title, they might have to bring in the National Guard.
Was there a place were they watching the game, or was this just reaction to watching the game somewhere else and coming out and celebrating?
So I saw yesterday that they actually didn't even have that usual viewing party.
That was up
outside.
at Radio City yesterday,
They had it at Radio City. But
they had it at Radio City?
They had it at Radio City. They had Latrell Sprewell there. They had a bunch of old legends.
But they can't have the outdoor ones anymore because the police shut that down.
They shut down the block party,
which is too bad.
outside.
That's a great scene.
We've done a few. We've had a few broadcasts there. It's been a great time. The Knicks fans still gather there. Then you could see from all of the close bars and restaurants where fans are. Once the game ended, they kind of left those and went straight to that central 7th Avenue area that has given our social media, a big boost. So
now you are in your 20s. You are somebody that has not seen this before.
I'm 32, but I appreciate it.
Well,
thank
you look like you're 24.
Thank you.
Anyway, you're a young guy. You have not seen this before. I mean, the Knicks. You were 4 when the Knicks were in the finals last time, or 5, whatever.
Yeah.
As a fan, last thing, just kind of describe what that whole thing was like with the fans that were out there and enjoying it.
Yeah, a lot of the fans I felt like were, around my age, and we've been waiting our whole lives for this moment. It's, we were at the bottom, and now we're at the very top. It still feels unreal to be in this position. But the Knicks are really that one team in our state, and that really unifies everybody. You could see people from all different places, of all different backgrounds, in one spot celebrating the same thing, and that's the New York Knicks. And it's kind of cool because Yankees fans, Mets fans, Jets fans, Giants fans, the Knicks, I know there's the Nets, but the Knicks are really that team that unifies us all. So
there's no question. Jake, appreciate it, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
It's a fun night.
You had great videos that were out there. They were all on SportsCenter. They were all, I think, Charles Barkley and those guys were talking about them, too. They put them up on the post-game as well. That was absolutely awesome to see last night. Now, I have to admit, I was out there after Game 1, went to Game 1.
Okay.
And me, cranky old man, want to get home, want to get back to my car. Why won't they let me walk down this street? But then you really take in a moment of what that's like and what the fans are celebrating, how much they're enjoying it. It was absolutely insane, and that was after Game 1. So this idea, I've been one of the guys that has said, can we play it down a little bit? No, man. No, go enjoy this.
Especially at this point.
Yes.
The horse is out of the barn now.
And even before this, go and enjoy this because I don't have the appreciation for the guys that haven't seen this yet and seen what this looks like.
Yeah. I was thinking about this last night and probably talking about this last night after the game. This is a once-in-a-generation experience. And for me, I know, there's certain experiences in life, not just in sports, but in life, where you know exactly where you were when it happened. I know exactly where I was when the Knicks won Game 7 and advanced to the finals in 1994. I know exactly where I was when the Knicks won Game 6 and advanced to the finals in 1999. And now, of course, I will remember where I was when the Knicks won Game 4 last night and advanced to the NBA Finals. This is so rare that it's one of those where you know exactly where you were when it happened.
800-919-3776. Let's continue with you. It is your day. Jose in Connecticut is next on ESPN New York. Jose, we're not blaming you for anything anymore. We're not blaming you on the OG injury anymore. All you get to do is celebrate right now.
That's right, man. Thanks a lot, bro. I'm happy. And, I had two things to say, Chris, man. First, all the haters, y'all need to go in hibernation, man. Just come back. Go away for a couple of weeks. Reggie, D from Queens, Bart, Kate Cunningham, all of them. Just go away and be quiet. Like, you're right. Just be quiet. Just go do
Bart will be back
else
tomorrow, and he won't be hating as much, I'm sure.
Good. I hope not, man, because, I keep having faith in him, But then also I want to say, like, the other thing, like, we definitely have a chance. Like, all the people that said that we didn't have a chance against the Thunder and the Spurs, you see that they're starting to change their mind. And I just want to talk about how dumb narratives are, because there are people that are still trying to downplay the Knicks' run. Nobody cares as long as you win, because the Thunder last year had injuries to the Nuggets, the Pacers. This year, LeBron Luka was out, and then they played the worst team in the playoffs, the Suns. Nobody cares. As long as you win, that's all that matters. So all the haters, they keep trying to cope and make up new excuses to move the goalposts. They just have to keep eating crow, man. We have a chance. I'm happy to be an underdog because, like, I feel like that's how New York does it best, man. So
they are an underdog.
I just want to say the haters go away and let's go Knicks.
It's the first time they're going to be an underdog in these playoffs. And, yeah, have things broken favorably for them? They have. But that doesn't automatically guarantee that you're going to win 11 games in a row by an average of 23 points per game.
Right.
There's things breaking favorably, and there's being absolutely dominant, which is what they have been during this run.
You know what? Thank God we haven't had to talk about the phrase playing with your food. I hate that phrase.
I hate that phrase.
I'm so sick of it, and we haven't had to because they haven't done it at all. And all they have done with those teams that have been put in front of them is destroy them.
Do you remember before the playoffs began and you're going through the 8 first-round series, and, one of the talking points on shows like this is which team has the best chance of upsetting their team in the first-round series? And I think the most common pick among those was the Hawks against the Knicks.
Yeah.
Because the Hawks were a red-hot team down the stretch of the regular season. They played the Knicks very well the last week of the regular season. It was proven to be somewhat true when they took a 2-1 lead. But if you just think about, the Knicks, I think it was April 23rd when they last lost a game. They haven't lost an entire month. They're going to sweep. They've swept the month of May. Now they're waiting for Game 1 of the NBA Finals on June 3rd. If you just think about where they were 3 games into the playoffs to where they are now, it's just an incredible turn of events.
Think about this for a second. When you think about the dominant teams in postseasons, you're talking about the Warriors, you're talking about the Lakers, you're talking about some of the all-time great teams. The 2001 Lakers won in the playoffs before the finals by an average of 15.5 points a game. The 2017 Warriors won their games leading to the finals, all before the finals, by an average of 16.3 points per game. The Knicks this year have won their games in the playoffs by an average of 19.4. I mean, that's 3 full points better than the 2017 Warriors. And, guys, talk about who the opponents are all you want. All I know is they've destroyed them each and every time. 37, 30, and 51 is how many they have won by in these clinching games.
On the road.
On the road.
All 3.
Sean in Amityville next, ESPN New York. Sean, what's up, baby?
Yeah, what's up? Go Knicks, man. Yo, I'm going to tell it like it is, and I'm going to let you know what it be, man. This is what it is, man. We're witnessing history. The Knicks, this is the greatest playoff team in the history of the NBA. I'm not hearing nothing else about it because this is history. I don't care about no 73 Golden State wins with the Bulls, none of that. This is the Knicks, the greatest playoff team ever. And number 2, they looking for the face of the NBA. You know who the face of the NBA is? Right here in New York. Jalen Brunson, baby. He's the face of New York. Go New York. Go New York. Go New York. Go.
Look at Sean.
Got an extra one in there.
Look at that. Look at that. That was efficient. That was get everything in. That was bring the energy. I got to admit, to a point, the beginning, thought the energy was a little too high, that he was going to, maybe go prank call on that on the back end. And I would have respected it if he did. It's okay. But listen, you're talking about Jalen, 26 points per game in the playoffs. His career outside of the playoffs is 19. I mean, that's how much he elevates his game in the playoffs. It's insane what this guy has done.
And I think, you can't put the Knicks in the category of the all-time great postseason teams without winning a championship. We know that, right?
Yes, of course.
But I think if the Knicks do win the NBA Finals this year, and they will have beaten a great team, either a generational player or a defending champion, if they win the Finals. That's who they will have beaten in the NBA Finals. If you combine that with what they have done already, I do think, not to get too far ahead of myself, but it kind of jumps off of what our last caller said. You do have to prepare yourself for including them in the conversation of one of the greatest postseason teams of all time. Because that number that you gave, 19.5 points per game, point differential, that includes 2 losses. I'm almost positive the 2001 Lakers, they didn't lose before they got to the finals.
And the Warriors didn't either.
I don't think they lost either. The Knicks actually lost 2 games.
The Warriors lost their one game when they were up 3-0 in the finals.
That's right. And the Lakers lost their one game when Allen Iverson beat them in game 1 of the finals. They each went 16-1.
Yep.
Or maybe 15-1 for the Lakers. But the Knicks have actually lost 2 games. That's factored in to the 19.4 points per game differential.
800-919-3776. Also on the ESPN New York YouTube channel where you can get the comments in. I got to squeeze some of those in. I will get them here momentarily. Let's hit Chris in the Bronx next. ESPN New York. Chris, what's going on, dude?
What's up, Chris? What's up, Pat? How y'all doing today?
Good, brother. Just enjoying
Everybody's
this.
Good. Listen, Chris, I told you they was going to win by 30, and you laughed. I said all they got to do is make a couple threes, and they did. But listen, I just want to say the point Pat O'Keefe made was like very good with the run that they're on right now. I feel like the underdog statement would be a little different if we did happen to play, even though they lost. But if we did play Detroit, if we did play Boston, I think the tone will be a little different with the Knicks. Going against whoever they're going to play against in the finals. But to anybody saying that this ain't going to be a problem, I honestly don't think it's going to go game 7, anything with whoever we play. I honestly think that most is 6, the bounce-back games that the Knicks have, I just don't see them losing consecutively in a 7-game series. I don't see them losing 4 the way that they're playing and the way Mike Brown is switching everything up on a daily basis. Let's go, New York, man. New York Knicks, we here. Championship, baby. Let's get it.
It's your day. 800-919-3776. Lines are open right now for the Knicks fans. And this is, he made a point, and there was also a comment here that I wanted to bring up on the ESPN New York chat. There's 2 of them, first of all. Matthew, no one's arguing you haven't beat bad teams, so at least Carlin seems to agree that it doesn't get you much respect. No, it doesn't, but at the same time, when you don't just coast through them, you destroy them. Mm-hmm. You play with a purpose. There's a lot to be said for that. And then there's this from Hennessy checking in. Mike Brown needs to get his flowers, regardless of how this ends, because no one saw this coming. Focus was him being the 4th or 5th option. 100% accurate on that, on the 4th or 5th option, because when they made the move, I was convinced that they thought they already had something together with Jason Kidd, and that was going to be their move, which is ironic now that he's out of a job and might end up coaching the Cavaliers after all is said and done here. Mike Brown, to me, was a little bit better than just another coach, just another retread in the NBA. And, man, I can't speak to how wrong I've been about it, because he has been somebody who does not want to take the credit, who was quick to hand it out and go in all other directions. He's not somebody that you hear make excuses when the team is not going right. You would never hear Mike Brown talk about analytically we're ahead 2-1 in this series like you did with Kenny Atkinson. I just think Brown, for what he's been in his career, a guy that's been to the finals before, but granted with LeBron, understands, has taken this team and has understood what it needed to be once the postseason began. And to sit and listen to your assistants when they're talking about shifting the offense, to do that at that juncture of the year, you got to have a set to do that.
Yeah, he's listened to his assistants, and he's been effusive in his praise of them. He also takes into account what his players say, and he does hold his players accountable, and I think that goes a long way in the locker room, because he has said several times also that he expects to be held accountable by his assistants and his players as well. He doesn't carry himself at all as someone above his players, his assistant coaches. And I think that's kind of how he's gone through his career. But if you look at his career record, 12 years as a head coach, He's had a lot of success as an assistant coach, but let's just stick with the head coach. Yes, he's been fired 4 times, all right? But he's won more than 60% of his games.
Yeah.
He has consistently gotten teams to the playoffs. He's been a coach of the year 2 different times with 2 different teams. He's gotten to the NBA Finals. And I do think that why he might be somewhat overlooked is because he is such an unassuming presence.
Yeah.
I don't think he seeks out the praise. I don't think he wants the praise. He's a very intelligent guy. I think he's a genuinely nice guy. The saying sometimes nice guys finish last, maybe that is held against him a little bit. But, just he's kind of gone about his business throughout his career and really throughout this season, putting his head down, not seeking out extra praise, knowing what he was brought here to do. And I said this all along, and I think this was a great advantage that he had. Once Tatum goes down, once Halliburton goes down, he knew that no matter what the Knicks did in the regular season, the Knicks were going to be at a minimum a top 4 seed. They were going to have home court advantage just by the nature of what their competition was in the Eastern Conference playoffs. And there were some times, especially during that January stretch, where the Knicks went 2-9, and there were some frustrations, and Cat not fitting in, and early on Josh Hart not fitting in. But I just think this guy was playing the long game the entire time. He knew that he was going to be judged on what this team does in the playoffs, and he almost treated the regular season knowing that he was guaranteed, unless something went catastrophically wrong, to have a top 4 seed and home court advantage in the first round. He treated the regular season as a launching off point and a preparation for this team to take it to another level in the postseason.
You mentioned Cat in there, and that's interesting to me because Cat, for the first half of the year, you would still hear the comments from him occasionally of, I'm not really sure where I fit in here offensively. And I don't know how this is going to work for me specifically, but I'm happy to do whatever it is that I have to do. But you sense that there was a little something up there, not in a relationship, but in a just not sensing how he was going to fit in and if that frustration was ever going to go away. And I'm not talking about the offensive adjustment at the moment, but just to keep that at bay for where they were should speak to the respect level that they have for Mike Brown.
Totally. And this has happened with other guys. Cat's the biggest example because, and those comments that you referred to, they happened, in my recollection, as late as February.
Yeah.
Maybe even like post-All-Star break.
Yeah.
He was still kind of feeling that
Every few weeks it would kind of come up and be like, yeah, I'm still feeling my way out here. But if we're winning, I'm good.
Right. And this is a guy who's a career 25-point-a-game scorer.
Right.
He averaged 20 points a game this year. There was a 6-week stretch from January into February. He was averaging like 15 points a game. He hit the boards.
And we're screaming and yelling about 6, 7, 8 shots a game.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And what Brown did was he turned that into an advantage starting in Game 4 against Atlanta. He's like, well, if teams are going to guard Brunson a certain way and teams are going to guard Cat a certain way and make it difficult, he's not a classic, post-up player. Everybody's like, just put him in the block when one of these smaller guys like a Lou Dort or an Alex Caruso guards him. Just put him down in the block and let him post up. That's not the kind of player that he is. Brown tapped into what kind of player he is. He's a terrific passer. We heard during the Atlanta series how he grew up kind of idolizing Magic Johnson, and he's got that same height, and he's got, not the same court vision as Magic Johnson because he's one of one, but similar style games. So he tapped into that. But there's other examples of what you said with the respect level for Mike Brown. Even guys like a Jordan Clarkson, he comes in, he's supposed to be the sixth man on this team. He's supposed to be a key cog off the bench. And the first half of the year, he really wasn't contributing that much, and he was out of the rotation for a long time. We have seen examples of that throughout history where a veteran player comes in, doesn't have the role, and he grumbles, and he gripes, and he handled it completely oppositely. He's been in the rotation. He's been out of the rotation. Landry Shamet has been in the rotation and out of the rotation twice during these playoffs alone, and now he's being talked about as one of the greatest sixth men in Knicks history by what he has done during the conference finals.
I got to bring in this comment here because this is a little bit aggravating, even for me. Again, somebody that's commonly known as somebody who's going to see the glass half empty. And it comes in here from where did it go? Of course, it disappears on me. It's Matthew checking in. What top NBA players have the Knicks beat? The playoffs are about being the top difference-making superstar players like Wemby, SGA, Jokic, and Luka. All right. Are we talking about all NBA teams being top players? Because they just beat Donovan Mitchell, who was second-team All-NBA. They just beat Who was third team All-NBA?
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey was third team All-NBA.
So was Jalen Johnson.
Yeah. And so why are you Jalen Johnson for the Hawks? And the other guys who were, like Cade was first team. He's not here.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Duren was third team, and he was awful in the playoffs.
Jaylen Brown was second team.
Yeah. So what are we talking about here? When you're talking about what players have they beat, you can talk about it's amazing to me. These are not 25-win teams that they beat in the playoffs. If you look at the Cavs, outside of Mitchell, they've got all-stars dotting this roster up and down. And, yeah, they were disappointing. They may not have been that good as a collective unit when you looked at it. They won 52 games.
You have Mitchell as a second-team All-NBA player, who, by the way, received more All-NBA votes than Jalen Brunson did. And then you couple him with a former league MVP. And I understand that James Harden, in addition to his playoff struggles throughout his career, is also, on the backside of his career, but he's still an all-star level player. I think he was All-NBA last year. So that's the backcourt on one side.
Yeah, you kind of lose me on Harden.
The Knicks and Brunson. But the point I'm getting to is this. The Knicks, you would think on paper the Cavs have a better backcourt, credentials-wise. The Knicks backcourt, which includes one All-NBA player, and Mikal Bridges, outscored them. They outscored them during this series. In the front court, the same thing. The Cavs are supposed to have this big advantage. 2 all-star big men, Mobley and Jarrett Allen. The Knicks dominated them inside. I mean, the Knicks outplayed the Cavs in every area that were supposed to be perceived strengths of the Cavaliers. So what else are they supposed to do?
Yeah. Just keep destroying the teams that are in front of you.
And just to be clear, I was not making a case for James Harden because I'm with you there. So if I misrepresented myself, please don't let that happen.
And we're going to hear this in a moment. As dumb as Kenny Atkinson's quote was the other night.
Oh, baby.
Have we actually heard a dumber one? That's on the way. We'll have some Knicks audio files coming up in moments. He is Pat O'Keefe in for Bart today because we weren't going to subject you to Bart and the Pistons today after the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. Also, he's having some oral surgery. Hey, subscribe to the ESPN New York YouTube page. Stream the full Weekday Lineup live. Watch complete replays or catch up fast with can't-miss highlights. Jump into the live chat. React in real time. Make your voice part of the show. Subscribe to the ESPN New York page on YouTube now and stay locked in so you never miss a moment.
Calling all Hoops fans, are you ready for the NBA playoffs? Get in on the action throughout basketball's most exciting time of the year with BetMGM, an authorized gaming operator of the NBA. From same-game parlays to live bets, you can call your shot during any play. Rooting for your favorite players? You'll find all sorts of markets for betting on any star's performance on any given night of the playoffs. Don't miss a single highlight or buzzer-beating shot by getting all your picks in with BetMGM. Ready to shoot your shot? Download the app today. Make your bets and experience the thrill of the NBA playoffs like never before. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older to wager and physically present in New York only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Spring is here. Summer's right around the corner, so why are you still living with pain? If you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or nerve pain, don't wait any longer. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, no surgery, no long recovery, no relying on pain medication. Just non-surgical image-guided treatments that help you get back the life you deserve. With offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, and most major insurances accepted, help is close. Go to SandwellPain.com. Feel better now, not later.
If you manage an active facility, you don't have time for disruption. Tricon Construction specializes in working inside healthcare, commercial, and industrial buildings without shutting operations down. That means tight planning, clear communication, safe, disciplined execution, because when patients are inside, when tenants are working, when production can't stop, there's no margin for mistakes. When it has to be handled professionally and handled right, Tricon is the only choice. Visit TriconBuilds.com, TriconBuilds.com.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code ADVANCE to borrow up to $10,000.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, ESPN New York YouTube channel. It has been that kind of a day. This voyage that the Knicks have been on has been absolutely ridiculous in every way, and I cannot get over the fact that they have done it in such incredibly dominating fashion. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today at 800-919-3776. Tom Bauer is here. Let's do some Knicks audio files, Thomas. Hit it. Let's go.
The audio file.
All right, Tom.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, it couldn't be a happier day in New York City, if I may say so myself.
So no punching of the walls in your house last night, Tom?
No, absolutely not. There will be no punching of walls for at least, was it like 9 more days?
Roughly.
At least.
Yeah. So what do you got?
All right, well, we're going to start with the losers first, because then we'll actually get to what real winners sound like. And speaking of losers, we're going to talk about James Harden first, because if Kenny Atkinson...
You're such a... I'm sorry to say this to you. You're just such an unlikable winner.
And
that's just such an unlikable winner.
Listen, I try and be a humble person, but
you don't.
But when you
you don't.
But when you make comments like something like this,
analytically, I think we've won 2 out of 3.
Then I'm going to call you a loser. I'm sorry.
All right, that's a loser comment.
Yes,
I would totally agree with that. So that is, to me, that's the dumbest thing I've heard in a long, long time. Until maybe last night. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, so now let's judge James Harden and see if he did any worse than Kenny Atkinson. So you're going to hear the question in this, so that way you get the full context. He was talking about if the Knicks played better than the Cavs in the series.
Reflecting on this series, how much better, if they're better, are the Knicks than you?
I mean, I can't even answer that question honestly. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was 4-0, but I don't think we had a chance as far as our best shot. You know, from a standpoint of the circumstances. You know, obviously they dominated us 4-0, but yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question. Just because genuinely I do feel like we are the better team, but you know. Series-wise, you know, it didn't show it, so it's a tough question to answer.
No, it's not. Not a tough question to answer.
It might be one of the easiest questions I've ever heard.
Genuinely, I feel we're the better team. We got swept, but we're the better team. Oh, my God. So, in your estimation, what is the dumber comment? That one or Kenny Atkinson, analytically, we've won 2 out of 3?
I think this one is the dumber comment. Because I think Kenny Atkinson's comment was largely for the benefit of his players because he was a desperate man at that point, kind of grasping at straws. There was nothing to gain or lose by James Harden answering that question honestly last night. And by the way, he started by saying, I can't answer that question, but he actually did answer that question. The answer to his question was he feels that the Cavs are the better team.
Yeah.
Which is actually stupider than not being able to answer the question.
I have to go with the Kenny line because you're a coach. And he's been around long enough to know he might be supporting his players when he says that. He knows how that's going to sound publicly when you're down 3-0. Well, analytically, we've won 2 out of 3. I mean, you're the coach. I think James Harden's delusional about a lot of things.
Yeah. I think James, by the way, I think James Harden's already over the loss.
I don't even disagree with you in the
I think
least.
he was over the loss before he got out of the shower.
Oh, before he sat down to answer those questions. Yeah, we were the better team. I'm past it. Next.
And I believe there is one more dumb Kenny Atkinson quote that we can add to his, let's call it a laundry list now of bad things to say after you're losing. So, did fatigue ever hurt you guys?
I'll tell you what didn't help was losing those 2 Game 6s. You know, haven't been in this, kind of a long time and seen this before. I think you have to take advantage of those opportunities. And the way the scheduling's set up in the league, and that's a whole nother topic I could go off on. You get on a hectic schedule, and that's not to say we win those games. We beat the Knicks. I'm not saying that, but I think it gives us a better chance. But I think the density of the frequency of the games, with it, never had 2 days rest, the whole deal, played a part in it. Definitely, I'm not going to say that's the reason we lost, but we would have had a better chance. I think we win, we take care of business in those Game 6s. I think that's if I have one regret, 2 regrets, I guess you'd say.
Let me ask a question. By this time tomorrow, is Kenny Atkinson still the coach of the Cavaliers? I'm not convinced he is.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, I think he could absolutely get fired. And those 2 comments would not have helped him. But, yeah, Kenny, it's generally been the case in the history of the league that when you wrap a series up earlier, you get more time off. And you do get penalized for playing more games than you necessarily need to. So, yeah, losing those 2 Game 6s, yeah, I could say that probably did not help.
It didn't help. Now, he said that losing those 2 Game 6s were his 2 biggest regrets of the playoffs. Okay? Can I offer another option for his biggest regret of the playoff? Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, 22-point lead on the road. The home team that you're facing has nothing going on right now. The building is extremely quiet. They hit a couple of shots. You have 4 timeouts in your bag, and you opt not to use them. It's a 10-point lead. You still haven't used them. It's an 8-point game. You still haven't used them. Perhaps that regret could jump to the top of the list over losing those 2 Game 6s in the first 2 rounds.
But Pat, he wanted to hold on to them for the end of the game.
You never know when you're going to need them.
Kenny Atkinson calls timeout.
And it's not even like you're going to lose one with 3 minutes left. No, wait, you do.
You do. You lose them all,
yes,
except for 2.
Yes. Oh, my God. Oh, my
rough series.
God.
And I like Kenny. I liked him when he was in Brooklyn.
I
thought he got a raw deal
in Brooklyn. Yeah.
I always liked Kenny. He's a stand-up guy. It was a rough series for him.
Yeah, it was a very rough series for him. Next. Go Knicks.
Thank you, Danhausen, for putting that curse on Cleveland, by the way. All right, so now let's hear from a winning coach and what a humble coach sounds like in winning. I don't know where I was going with that. That was an awful transition.
No, you're not a wordsmith. It's okay.
No, I'm not. We've proven that many a time. At any rate, Mike Brown knew that the Knicks were a finals team when he took the job.
Again, our business is funny. My previous job supposedly took him to a point that was higher, and, it didn't work out. So, again, I truly felt that this team was an NBA Finals team. I thought we had a true opportunity, because some jobs you take, you're like, okay, we can get better. We have a chance to make the playoffs right now. But this one, I felt we legitimately had a chance if we could help them figure it out. The players could stay together during the process, especially when we hit adversity, because we hit adversity at different times during the season, not just us as a whole group, but even some guys individually, including myself. And so, I did have that belief from day one. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but we're here, and there's a lot of people to thank because of it, but it starts with the players.
On the one hand, you have he walked into a very difficult situation, right? There was this mandate to get to the NBA Finals, and that's not easy. But on the other hand, he's right. He walked into the reason why there was a mandate to get beyond where the team went last year is because the infrastructure was there and there was so much talent there. So, what coach wouldn't have taken this opportunity? I don't know if both things can be true, that it was a difficult situation he walked into, because how long ago was it? 4 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago that we were talking about if the Knicks don't get to the conference finals, do they move on from Mike Brown? And now this guy's the toast of the town.
That was very much in play.
Absolutely.
Yes, that was very much in play. And to think about that and where they are now, you had to get to the finals to... I don't know that Mike Brown would have gotten fired if they had lost this series in 7, but anything short of that, it was still very much going to be in the discussion because of what happened last year with Tibbs. But I also think you can say this, and it's not a knock on Tibbs and the coach that he is. Can we honestly say that the Knicks would have had this kind of run? Maybe they would make the finals. I don't know that you could say they would have this kind of dominant run if they were still doing things Tibbs' way.
No, I don't think they would. And you're not going to find a bigger Tibbs fan than me.
Yeah.
I mean, what he did, what he took over, he deserves so much credit for where this team is right now. But what were the things that they wanted changed, right? They wanted it to become less Jalen Brunson-centric.
Yep.
They have. They wanted the minutes to be reduced among their starters. They have. Utilized the bench a little bit more free-flowing offense, more collaboration. Literally every single thing that you pointed to where they felt there were shortcomings with the way Tom Thibodeau did things, Mike Brown has improved in those areas. I mean, he's almost batting 1,000 in terms of what he needed to improve. Now, it wasn't always that way, which is why, we're just kind of getting into this conversation now because it wasn't so obvious during the regular season, but he wasn't brought here to improve those things during the regular season.
Tom, next.
All right, and now let's hear from the captain of your New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson. He doesn't always love the spotlight, but everybody's giving it to him rightfully right now. Jalen on being the face of the Knicks reemergence.
I think first and foremost it means a lot that the belief that the organization has in me, from Mr. Dolan down to Leon, Wes, coaching staff, and obviously my teammates. It means a lot, and it's something I haven't really put into perspective and thought about. Because as I said before, now we're still writing our story. And so I think in due time I'll be able to answer that in full entirety. But I like the journey that we're on right now.
Here's an interesting comment I just saw on the ESPN New York YouTube chat in relation to Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson greater than Aaron Judge as a leader. And I'm not knocking Aaron Judge. I mean, Aaron Judge is an amazing player, but I mean, it's not a crazy sentiment.
I mean, I think I agree with it.
Yeah.
It's not one I've put a lot of thought into, but, maybe I'm prisoner of the moment. But
Tom, Yankee fan, big Yankee fan. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Jalen Brunson's the better leader than Aaron Judge. But there's certainly an argument that could be made that might not be the case. However, right now,
you're arguing against yourself right
now. I understand
you
that.
Really need
you can't
to
take two sides of the same argument at the same time.
It's sports radio.
You're driving my fandoms through my heart. Of course I'm going to try and play the both sides.
Boombach, are you a Yankee fan or a Met fan?
I'm a Yankee fan.
All right. Jalen Brunson, greater than Aaron Judge. Your thoughts?
I think it's different. To me personally, Jalen Brunson, as of today, is the greatest Knick of all time. And I know that, but are
you still young?
I'm young.
Great. He's the greatest Knick of your lifetime.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
29 years old.
I can't say the same.
29 or 26? 29.
And it's different because Aaron Judge, to me, is like the best player in baseball. And as great as Jalen Brunson is, I don't think he's the greatest basketball player I've ever seen,
I mean, and if we're being truthful, no offense. Over the 29 years, he is the greatest Knick.
Yeah,
because
is.
you haven't seen any other.
He's
Absolutely.
He's
really
there, yes. He's not the greatest Knick of my lifetime.
No, he's not the greatest. Not the greatest Knick of my lifetime yet. We've talked about the Rushmore thing, and it's Clyde, it's Willis, it's Patrick, and then you might have Jalen as number 4.
He might be there now.
Yeah.
And I would not have put him there last week. And there's some names that were bandied about that I disagreed with. I mean, he's already surpassed in my mind Bernard King. Bernard King,
yeah.
But
amazing scorer.
Yeah, but he did it for less of a period of time than Jalen Brunson does.
Yeah.
Brunson might have cemented himself on that Mount Rushmore last night.
Tom, any more?
Yeah, and I will say, Jalen Brunson, undisputed though, king of New York right now. So I guess I'll put that.
For what you already did, Tom.
Yeah, I'm trying to make up for.
Yeah, no.
Unless you want to pick Aaron Judge.
I'm just going to play.
Yeah. In which case, I can see that case. You could make that argument.
You know what, Aaron Judge I'm just going to shut up and play this last cut because it's a collective thought among the Knicks, and this is how everybody feels. OG Anunoby, take it away.
I mean, it feels good. I mean, we're excited. We're happy we won, but we're also not satisfied. And just now, we're going to celebrate tonight, but then once tomorrow comes, start resting and then preparing for the next round.
I'm chuckling because I just looked down and I heard the cut. And yes, resting and preparing for the next round is all good. Couple of people, Black Metronome, let's not, Bumbaka. Let's not. Honestly, when we talked about if you are a serious team, go out and take care of business, and they have done nothing but take care of business for the last 11 games. And they have done it in every dominant way. And I almost thought, we said this on Friday, going into Game 3, when you're going on the road to Cleveland, you've won your 2 games at home, and, you know, the old adage and all that about winning doesn't start until somebody wins on the road. Now, going into Game 3, you could have made the case that this was perhaps the most important Knick game of the year just to prove what you were and what you were going to be about, and they left no doubt as to what they were going to be about.
Yeah, they never trailed.
Yeah.
They never trailed in Game 3 on the road. You know, it wasn't the cake, but it was a different scenario. Last night, Cleveland took the floor. They were a beaten team. When Cleveland took the floor on Saturday night at home, they still had they were in the exact same scenario last series against the Pistons, where they lost the first 2 games on the road.
800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Keep the comments coming in on the ESPN New York YouTube channel as well. Go over there and make your comments in the chat. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York. Pat O'Keefe in for Bart today. We were not going to subject you to Pistons talk today. Also, Bart is having oral surgery. Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Mets host the Reds tonight, 7:10. Coverage begins on 880 ESPN New York starting at 6:30, and at 7:40, Yankees are on the road facing the Royals. Tullamore Dew is the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Lines are open for you because it's your day at 800-919-3776. The Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Wednesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Another sweep for the Knicks.
And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are Eastern Conference champions.
Are you confident they'll go all the way?
They absolutely can win it. This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale this Thursday, May 28th at usopen.org. The U.S. Open. Spectacular awaits.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin modern windows and doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
Hi, this is Chevy, managing partner at Precision Solar. If you're looking at solar in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut, here's what actually matters. Real numbers, honest answers, and a team that handles everything. We manage the entire process from start to finish. Designs, approvals, installation, and even a brand new roof if you need one. We don't sell you more than your home actually needs. Just smart systems designed for long-term savings and predictable energy costs. Visit PrecisionSolar.com to schedule your free home assessment. Precision Solar, built to perform for decades.
In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's playoff basketball. You got to do a little bit of everything.
The intensity levels are at an all-time high. These are the NBA playoffs. Every team looking to make a run.
This is incredible.
Every player looking to make history.
Give me all you got. Let's go.
So tune in, because this is going to be unbelievable.
This is exactly what we wanted.
The NBA playoffs presented by Google continue on ABC, ESPN, NBC, and Peacock.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today, 800-919-3776. All about the Knicks fans. They are headed to the finals. Black Kev on the island. Or Kev, what's up, brother? How are you?
What's going on? What's going on, Black Chris? How you doing, Mr. Keith? How y'all doing out there?
We're great.
Orange and blue skies, fellas. Orange and blue skies.
Absolutely.
Listen, y'all got to do me a solid, though, man. Don't put these knuckleheads, these idiots out there like those Reggies and those Matthews. Don't give them no burn on the radio, God. They should be on punishment for the remainder of June. For the whole of June.
So if D calls up, he doesn't get on. That's what you're saying.
Oh, man, if you come up and you call for any kind of negativity, I don't want to hear it. Everybody that is bashing, even bandwagon, don't bash them. Positive vibes is all taken. We want all the positive vibes, so in that way we can move forward. But I'm very happy. The gentleman Hennessy that was on that chat that sat down there and started off all the giving the props, giving the respect, all right, and the roses to Coach Brown. That was wonderful. I was glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you guys were adding on to that, because that's who deserves a lot of the praise right now. He was almost a subplot, like a subtitle to a lot of the praise that was going on. A lot of it was going to the players. A lot of it was going to management for the organization of the team. Some of it was even going to the previous coach. That was bothering me. As much as we all want to say that Thibodeau did his part, I'm sorry, man. The way that Brown navigated, the way he pivoted, the way his flexibility, his collaboration with the players, his bench. Everything that went was masterful. It was masterful what he did. And the fact that we had any kind of, bumps in the road early on in the season, he navigated that. That showed what he was about. They showed what he learned from Steve Cole, from Steve Kerr, from Popovich, all the previous things that he did. It was masterful what he did. And I want to give that man his applause for what he got us to right now. Go New York.
Kev, I think the single biggest thing that I could ever give Mike Brown credit on is the fact that he has never been somebody that has been so locked in on what his system is, on what he wants to do, and not being willing to change. And let's not ignore the fact that there is, and I'm not calling the Knicks lucky, I'm saying that there is some luck in having a massive change in your offense and having it work so well right away, because that has been amazing. But he sat there, and this is not Mike Brown thinking, oh, you know what I should do? This is listening to your whole staff and getting those guys and their opinions and being willing to adapt on the fly. And there are coaches. We know that Tibbs is not the most adaptable guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this has clearly been a big key to their success this year.
And he's adapted multiple times during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because when you're down 2-1 to Atlanta, and then you start running the offense through Cat, and that couldn't have worked any better for the next 7 games. The last 3 games of Atlanta, and then the 4-game sweep of Philadelphia. And then you get to game 1 against Cleveland, and it's a completely different team. And we've talked about the talent that the Cavaliers have on their team, and that includes 2 well above average big defenders, one of whom was the Defensive Player of the Year last year in Evan Mobley. And Mike Brown found out real quickly in game 1 that the Knicks couldn't run the offense through Cat at the high post because of the guys who were guarding him. So it went back to Brunson, and they are playing at a higher level than this franchise ever has in their history.
800-919-3776. Alan in Uniondale is up next. ESPN New York. Alan, what's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
How you doing?
I'm about to go into. I'm good, man. I got 3 things to bring up. So the Kenny Atkinson thing makes no sense. Makes no sense. Literally, they said that the Knicks made history what they were doing with these numbers. So how did the analytics say that you won 2 out of 3 games? That makes no sense. The Harden thing, Harden, because they had the highest payroll, so that's why Harden probably believes they are the better team. They do have the highest payroll in the league, so that's
yeah.
But then
and Kevin they got swept. They got swept by the team with the second highest payroll. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. And then got to get Kevin's right. The guy who called before, Brown did a lot. I was not, wasn't on his side like that, but yeah, he won me over. You could tell he really learned a lot from Popovich and Steve Kerr. Just for being flexible. You could tell. And I just wanted one last thing. So 5 years ago, right, the Brooklyn Nets were in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks. Uniondale has 3 firehouses, 2 on Uniondale Ave and 1 on Park Avenue. I was at the firehouse on Park Avenue. That whole firehouse was rooting for the Brooklyn Nets, right? And I'm rooting for the Bucks because I'm not a Brooklyn Nets fan. Now go today. That last night, same firehouse, threw a party. All of them are rooting for the Knicks. I'm sorry, got to call fraud on that. They're all frauds. Nope. They should not be happy today.
That's fine. I mean, listen, that's their deal. I don't really care. I think right now, any Knicks fan's not kicking anybody off the bandwagon.
I just want to be clear, just to kick a little more dirt on the Nets. It wasn't the Eastern Conference Finals. It was the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yes. And if I got to hear the phrase, if he wore a size 14 instead one more time, his foot was on the line, that's what happens. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. Chris Carlin with you. Glad to be joined right now by Taylor Canfield. He is the U.S. Sail GP team driver. And we are all getting ready for the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix coming up at the end of May. Taylor, how we doing?
Yeah, we're excited for the home event in New York. And, can't wait to be there and racing in front of all the fans.
Tell us why fans should be excited for the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix.
The racing is just so exhilarating coming in and watching it from the shoreline of of Governor's Island and in front of the Statue of Liberty, racing in one of, the biggest, most amazing cities in the world. I'm getting the goosebumps just talking about it. And, these boats are, the fastest boats in the world, racing, with the best sailors in the world. It's really cool. And it's going to be so electric in New York. And yeah, it's our home event this year. So we're pumped.
We are pumped as well. Taylor, we appreciate your time. He is U.S. Sail GP team driver Taylor Canfield. We're looking forward to the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix coming at the end of May. Taylor, thanks.
Want to earn extra revenue for your business? Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for local business owners to assist with deliveries. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra revenue and exposure for your business. Plus, Amazon Hub Delivery makes it easy to get started. There's no upfront cost, delivery experience, or long-term contracts required. Sign up to learn more at Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
You've been stuck inside all winter. Now it's time to get back out walking, working, and living. But if you have joint pain, sciatica, back pain, and still holding you back, you don't have to live like that. I'm Bart Scott, and Dr. J. Shaw at Soundwell Pain is the real deal. Ivy League trained, double board certified with non-surgical treatments that get real results. No cuts. No downtime, no pain medication, just a smart, targeted approach to get you moving again. Same day or next day appointments are available. Go to SoundwellPain.com. Don't let pain vent you this spring.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering up to 25% off windows and doors and 0% financing for 24 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends May 31st, 2026.
Wednesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Another sweep for the Knicks.
And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are Eastern Conference champions.
Are you confident they'll go all the way?
They absolutely can win it. This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. This is your home for the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks and the NBA Finals. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. Bart Scott.
What the hell?
Chris Carlin.
Take a hike. We're good.
This is Bart and Carlin.
Buckle your chin strap. We about to bang.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
And the clock ticks down from 8 to 7 to 6 and all the way to 0. Final score in Game 4, 130 to 93. And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are Eastern Conference champions.
Tyler Murray last night right here on ESPN New York as the Knicks are back in the NBA Finals with their sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's Bart and Carlin on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, where you can go watch the show and you can make comments, and we will get your comments in the course of the discussion. Also at 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Pat O'Keefe is in for Bart today because we were not going to subject you to Pistons talk today at all, in the wake of the Knicks' incredible sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So Tom Bauer is here at 12 o'clock to give us the Bauer Hour.
Oh, boy.
You better give 11 for Jalen. Do you have it in you?
I think I got it in me.
And 11 straight wins.
Yeah, 11 straight wins as well. Good point.
I'm going to try my best not to fade here. I've taken a sip of water. I'm going to take a deep breath.
The play-by-play. Let's go.
And then we're going to go.
It's the Power Hour!
No, that's crap. You sped through it. And I know
I tried my best.
Game.
I had to get there.
I'm onto your game right there. You sped through the end of it, but nonetheless,
I tried.
We will toss that aside. And Pat, this has just been an incredible, incredible run, the likes of which I don't know that we will fully appreciate until it's over with what we are actually seeing. The way the Knicks are not just rolling through the postseason, but just dispatching with teams as if they're nothing. They won by 37 last night, and their average margin of victory in closeout games actually went down. And the Knicks are going to the finals.
It's, the word I keep using is surreal. Hearing the promos, your radio home for the NBA Finals, for the Eastern Conference champion New York Knicks, hearing Tyler make that final call last night. I mean, it's been nearly 3 decades. It's been a lifetime for so many Knicks fans, like Tom, like Matt, who are producing the show. Knicks fans their whole lives. They've never experienced anything like this. Fans throughout the city, those of you who are listening to us right now, that's the first part of this. And then when you layer on top of it what you said, just the utter dominance with which they have done this. I mean, you and I have seen the Knicks get to the finals before. They had to fight and claw and scratch just to get there in 99, just to get there in 1994, withstand Reggie Miller and big shots and the Spike Lee thing and all of that. This was not that. This was something they haven't done in nearly 30 years. And also, they did it in a way that they have never done it in the history of their franchise. So, you put those two things together, and there's still kind of like a little bit of a daze. And I remember saying this last night during the postgame show, like Knicks fans are going to wake up on Tuesday morning thinking, wow, this actually happened last night. My team, if you're a Knicks fan, is actually in the NBA Finals.
And for the ones who haven't seen it before, what you're witnessing is not just the greatness of this team, but its actual history and how they're doing it. To have a team come into the playoffs in the first 3 games, lose 2 of them by 1 point each, to put yourself really up against it in round 1 against the Hawks, to completely then turn and change the way you play offensively, and then just dominate the rest of the way and be able to adapt on the fly each and every time, depending on what the opponent has got. This is remarkable. The Knicks have the largest margin of victory going into the finals on average in NBA history. It's better than the 2017 Warriors. It's better than the 2001 Lakers, and by a lot. The 2017 Warriors were outscoring their opponents going into the NBA Finals by 16.3 points per game. They had not lost a game up until that point. The Knicks are outscoring their opponents by more than 19 points per game. It's been absolutely absurd to see how this has played out. And what I don't know, there are different aspects of this, Pat, that we're going to talk about over the next week, because God, we know we have time, about what the more amazing aspects of this are. Jalen Brunson has to be the most amazing aspect of all of it. When you consider the physical stature of the player, the amount of criticism that came the Knicks' way when they signed him, and I don't know that the Knicks, when they did sign him, were bringing him in to be a number 1 player on the team. I think they thought they were going to be able to get another number 1 type level player. But what he has become is an all-time great Knick, and someone that I think when all is said and done, if they win a championship, very well might be the greatest free agent signing in the history of the NBA, and I'm including Shaq, LeBron, and Durant in that discussion when you think about guys that sign free agent contracts and the impact they have.
Those guys are, when you list the greatest players in NBA history, those guys are the top of the heap. Those guys are all top 10, top 15, at worst top 20 players in the history. And those are the names that Jalen Brunson, as he continues to check off accomplishment after accomplishment, now stacks himself up against, because he is very much in that conversation. And you have to take everything into consideration. You have to take into consideration, first and foremost, what the Knicks were before he got here. The Knicks, they went to the conference finals in 2000 and lost. They lost in the first round the following year to the Toronto Raptors. So from 2002 until Jalen Brunson got to New York, the Knicks won 7 playoff games. Playoff games, not series. They've won 7 playoff games that entire time. And now, 4 years in a row, they're the only NBA team to reach at least the second round of the playoffs all 4 years. They've gone to the conference finals the last 2 years, and they're in the NBA finals. New York Knicks do not go to the NBA. They don't go to the NBA finals. Since Walt Clyde Frazier retired, or since he won the last championship in 1973, the Knicks have been to the NBA finals now 3 times. There have been 6 games since 1973, NBA Finals games played at Madison Square Garden. I mean, this is incredibly unprecedented, and Jalen Brunson, with help in a lot of areas, but this entire conversation starts with him.
I can't get over the level of player that he has become, the level of leader that he has become, what he is doing, and granted he hasn't won as much yet, but what he is doing is, first brought up by Mike Vaccaro in the Post last week, very much like Derek Jeter as a leader. And he is, as Pat kind of noted earlier, has a lot more of the brunt of his team on his back than Jeter ever did, as far as not just a surrounding cast, but the pressure to be the guy no matter what the situation is. And to handle it as deftly as he has, I don't know that I've ever seen anybody come into this town, especially as a free agent in this town, and be able to do that. Be able to be that guy who carries all of the weight and is the leader too. That is incredible.
It's funny. We're thinking, and we're kind of like listing out of order all of the people who, deserve their flowers or should feel vindicated today. And not that the job is done, but like you said, Chris, we have a week and a half to talk about this. So let's just talk about it. This team getting to the finals, that's a huge deal in itself. And Jalen Brunson's a guy who his entire career has been told what he can't do. And historically speaking, stars of his stature do not take teams to the NBA Finals. Allen Iverson did it in 2001. Isaiah Thomas did it and won back-to-back championships. Other than that, in modern basketball, there's really no other precedent for what Jalen Brunson has done. Leon Rose, a lot of the moves that he has made were not treated with open arms at the time. Somewhat controversial, but this whole run has proven that most of his moves have been spot on. We talked about Mike Brown already. Another guy is Rick Brunson. I mean, Rick Brunson, I don't know if this was his exact plan, but when Rick Brunson's playing career ended and he was transitioning to a career as an NBA assistant coach, the other thing he transitioned to was preparing his son to be a professional basketball player. So it's amazing because his entire life, he's been, on the one hand, prepared for this, and on the other hand, every single step of the way, he has been told, you're too small, you're not athletic enough, you don't fit the profile, you could be a good rotation player, you could be a good second or third option. And here we are, a week from tomorrow, he's going to be taking the floor in the NBA Finals as the best team, as the best player on the Eastern Conference champions.
Then you've got the ability to just take the life out of another team and do it quickly. The Knicks have not just rolled through these playoffs. They've won 11 in a row, yes. They have won it by an average of 24 points per game. But they have delivered the knockout punch. The Knicks are the NBA equivalent in these playoffs of prime Mike Tyson, where if you survived early, you still didn't necessarily think that you had a chance. There was so much intimidation going into it, and the Knicks have delivered in that aspect of it, in that these teams that they're getting the chance to knock out, they're taking them out early. And, this is Michael Spinks. That was 91 seconds, the equivalent last night of what the Knicks did to what Tyson did to Spinks. There's kind of an aura around the way they are playing right now. And so much so, I want to share this with you real quick. So Joe Fortenbaugh from ESPN, as we know, outstanding, you can call him a handicapper, a guy who, is heavily involved in all the sports gambling. I had asked him a few weeks ago what the lines would look like in the finals for the Knicks, depending on if they were playing the Spurs or whether they were playing Oklahoma City. at the time, this was on April 29th. Okay. Joe talked to a bookmaker in Vegas about this. If the Knicks were playing the Spurs would have been minus 400, and the Knicks would have been plus 340 to win the championship, okay, if they were playing the Spurs. And the thing that he said to me was, you have to remember this key point. In the hypothetical, the Spurs would have just beaten Oklahoma City, which would have been massive. So Joe sends me a text this morning following through as he does. The Knicks, the way they have been playing, I have to reevaluate those prices. Still some moving parts, but I think the Spurs would be around minus 160, and Oklahoma City would be around minus 260. So Oklahoma City probably would have been about minus 600 if you're reading into that then. And so the Spurs are only minus 160. They're still going to be the final favorites in this, but that's how drastically the lines have moved because of the level that the Knicks have played at over this stretch. It's amazing to me.
And that's a month ago. And April 29th puts you right before Game 6 of the Atlanta series, which was really, I think, once the Knicks reestablished the lead in that Atlanta series and they were up 3-2 heading into Game 6, I think the expectation was the Knicks were going to win that series.
Yeah.
But that was the night where they took the 61-point lead.
Yeah.
And we're what was at one point it was like 60-19. We had a lot of conversations in our text chats. What was the score that you're going to remember that shows how dominant that game was? And when they won that game,
I think
by
it was
92-38
for me.
Incredible.
It was something
Seriously,
like that.
I mean,
yeah.
just scores that you've never seen in NBA games, let alone NBA playoff games, with a team on the road winning. And that was the one that kind of. And they rolled that right into the next series. Their next game after a layoff against the 76ers was a 39-point win. And then their one close game this entire stretch where they hold on to win by 6 points. So that's completely changed, obviously. The other thing that could change still is we obviously don't know who they're going to play in the finals, the Thunder or the Spurs, and we don't know what that team's going to look like. I mean, we were joking about Kenny Atkinson last hour. Yes, of course, if you played fewer games, you'd have a better chance to win. These two teams are going a minimum of 6 games. They're already not 100%. So when the finals begin next week, the Knicks are going to be rested and completely healthy. What are the Spurs or the Thunder going to look like health-wise?
Here is Mike Brown last night on his journey back to the NBA Finals.
First, I got to thank Vivek Ranady for giving me an opportunity. Obviously, it didn't work out. And when I got fired, I really didn't think much about anything. My wife and I we went to Sydney, Australia to see UFC 313. We went to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We went to St. Bart's, fantastic island. Man, I can't wait to go back. We actually came to New York City, too, and ran around New York for like 4 days. And we went to this one club, and we met these young dudes that work on Wall Street. And I was there with them till like 5 in the morning, and they sent me some pictures and stuff. And I'm surprised that they haven't sent them to you guys yet. But I just wanted to have fun, and if an opportunity came up, great. If it didn't, I felt lucky, blessed, fortunate. I had a good run, and I felt at some point I'd get another opportunity, whether it was a head coach or an assistant coaching position, and so I just kind of rolled with it, didn't think much about it, and obviously this opportunity came up, and from afar, I just felt that this team was ready, and I'm just thrilled to death that Mr. Dolan gave me an opportunity, and Leon Rose gave me an opportunity to be a head coach again, especially here in New York.
So it's Mike Brown, it's Leon Rose. Hey, Jim Dolan has stayed out of the way and let everybody do their thing. And you know what? I'll even say this. A little classy move by Jim Dolan last night. He wasn't up on the stage. He could have very easily been up on the stage taking that trophy and handing it over to Mike Brown and doing all that kind of stuff. He was not taking any of the love there. So I'll give him credit for that. The thing I would say is when you have championship teams like this seemingly come out of nowhere, usually it is born out of several great stories. And I think about the Yankees in 96, Joe Torre getting hired, clueless Joe, the whole thing. Mike Brown, a fourth choice for this job, and the Knicks are in the NBA Finals.
And the funny thing, if you want to add to that story, what are the guys that were reached out to ahead of Mike Brown doing now? And Jason Kidd, he's not working right now.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan.
He might be by the end of the week.
He might be by this time tomorrow
yeah.
in Cleveland. Billy Donovan, another name, not working right now. Chris Finch, terrific coach in Minneapolis, obviously didn't make it back to the conference finals this time. So, yeah, it's not always the first choice. It's not always the obvious choice. We had a caller at the end of last hour, insisting that Mike Brown has given his flowers. I feel like we've tried to do, because I think you and I both feel that he, sometimes maybe he's overlooked a little because of his unassuming personality. Nobody loves a tangent, by the way, like Mike Brown. We heard him go off on 2 or 3 of them during
Talking
that last
about being at a club at 4 in the morning with Wall Street guys.
Yeah, been in a lot of his press conferences before. Man loves a tangent, loves to veer off down the right side of the road. But he absolutely deserves as much praise as you can give him for where the Knicks are right now.
And today is about you at 800-919-3776. So let's get back to it. Socrates is up next on ESPN New York. What's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, what up, Chris?
How you doing?
What up, Pat? I am a fan of both of your works. First-time caller, long-time listener. I was calling. This team is such a New York team. Just like you guys were saying, we were complaining about the coach. Who is this guy? They didn't have a plan when we got Mike Brown, and he was the fourth choice. Also with the Brunson, I remember Mitchell and Brunson had an opportunity to be on the team, but we lost him to the Cavaliers. They were like, God, what's this Brunson guy going to do? And all it's been is just perfect synergy. They galvanized at the right time. And they're both the epitome of what New York is, just hardworking, quiet, and get the job done. And Leon Rose, like the makeup of the team, he quietly acquired all these guys who came from the New York, New Jersey area, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and they understand what it means to be a Knick and what it means to bring a championship to the Knicks. And it's just like everything is all working together. And it's just, so New York, what we think we want and we get, it doesn't work out. What we think is going to be crap ends up being the greatest thing. So that's my take. Let's go Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go. Thank you for letting me speak, and I hope you guys have a great show. Bye.
All right, Socrates. Appreciate you checking in. New York, New Jersey area thing, I don't know if I buy into that as much, but what I would buy into is you do have 3 guys who had won championships in college together and understood what that looked like. And I don't want to overstate that, but I don't want to understate it either, because I do think a winning culture with winning type players like Villanova had under Jay Wright, with these guys, a lot can be made out of that, because it's difficult to win on any level when you get above high school. It is very difficult to win in college, especially national championships. And when you're not the most amazing team and you don't have guys like Victor Wembanyama on your team. And so seeing what they have done, I don't think you can understate, or I think you can overstate it a little bit, but you should not understate what that group has meant.
That hasn't been done before, to my knowledge. 3 guys who won championships together in college now getting to this point in the NBA together. Maybe in the early days of the NBA where there weren't as many teams. I've always loved the NBA draft in college basketball, but the NBA draft, in my opinion, it never put a high premium on winning culture in college. It was more about, body type, the measurables, basically the things that worked against Jalen Brunson. And I always thought that was odd, but I always kind of chalked it up to, I'm not a draft expert. Obviously, these people spend more time studying this stuff than somebody like me, so I'm just going to assume it's right. This is really the first time I've ever seen somebody try to take guys from a winning program, put them together in the NBA, and I was always fascinated and curious to see how it was going to work. And you cannot argue with the results right now that these 3 guys, and DiVincenzo, when he was there for that 1 year, was also a part of that. I mean, it does work, and I'm surprised it's not tried more often.
Get the comments in on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, 800-919-3776. Go watch the show there. Dave in the car next on ESPN New York. Dave, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, man, just want to put out a positive vent for the Knicks. I'm so glad they did it without bringing in megastars. I'm so glad they did it by just grinding it out and learning by the experience. All the times you used to see Brunson crying when they're cheering MVP, all the blown games, the learned lessons, and now you see them turning it around. They had to come up, not just overcome that adversity. This coach had to overcome adversity. This guy's been in the room with some of the greatest players in the NBA, and no one gave him any chance when he came here. He's in the finals now. So now we're going to put Thibodeau in the same place we put Mark Jackson, and he took over a team that didn't even have megastars like they did in Golden State. I think if the Knicks are healthy, if they stay focused, they can beat anyone. It's a real solid feeling to see them push through. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to end on a high note. You guys add in what you want. Have a good day.
Thanks, Dave, for giving us the time to allow us to add in what we wanted. Listen, do you at this point, are you remotely concerned either way as to who you would play in the finals?
No, I mean, if you put a gun to my head and told me I had to make a choice, I would probably still say the Spurs, just because the Knicks matched up more favorably to them in the regular season. They beat them twice. They probably should have beaten them a third time on New Year's Eve. But no, I don't think it's as big a deal as it was even 2 weeks ago, because the Knicks have continued to prove that they can play at this level.
I think what you have seen is, granted, people can talk about what the competition has been all they want. It has been an utter destruction of the competition in front of you. They are playing at a mental level now where it does not matter who is in front of them. I honestly believe that. I do think, I don't think it's going to necessarily lead to 30-point wins, but I think they can win either series. I think they're absolutely capable of winning a championship at this point. And if you had asked me that a month ago, I would have said, well, if they had gotten to the finals, they would have scrapped and clawed, and they would have been playing 6 and 7 game series and been beaten up physically. And frankly, the Knicks are not a young team. They're not an old team, but they're not as young as the two teams that are fighting it out right now. So you give them a week to get rested for it, I think they have a golden opportunity to win a championship while those two teams beat the hell out of each other. I'm not saying either one's going to be as tired as the Cavs were, but they're not going to be as fresh as could be either, even though they're as young as they are.
That series has been a grind so far through 4 games. That
series is going 7.
The intensity is only going to pick up over the last 3 games. I mean, whoever comes out of that series is going to be the favorite to win the NBA championship. These next 3 games are going to be an absolute war.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York. That is Pat O'Keefe, who is in for Bart today. We were not going to subject you to Bart the day after the Knicks advanced to the finals, because who needs to hear Jalen versus Cade, right? No, nobody does. Also, Bart is getting a wisdom tooth taken out. 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Also be a part of the program at the ESPN New York YouTube channel. We get more of your comments in, including Hennessy. DiVincenzo will be there to celebrate with his boys. Good, that was at the forefront of my mind. Where's Dante going to be in all of this? Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds linger and can turn into sinus infections that last for weeks. Getting sick right now before vacation can derail everything. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and pharmacy is stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having urgent care and a pharmacy right at home. It includes essential prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of common and serious illnesses. So if you wake up sick at home or on the road, you already have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, no pharmacy lines, no copays. Just match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. Start on your meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs at least one medical emergency kit. Order yours online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Wednesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Another sweep for the Knicks.
And the New York Knicks are on their way to the NBA Finals. For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are Eastern Conference champion.
Are you confident they'll go all the way?
They absolutely can win it. This is a team that is very talented and is playing its absolute highest level of basketball.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale this Thursday, May 28th at usopen.org. The U.S. Open. Spectacular awaits.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah!
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors.
Mommy, can you open this,
All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you.
They learn what is okay from the adults they see.
Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
I'll adopt a cat.
Just a cat, Sean? This is a New York lottery win we're talking about.
I'd get the ultra-rare, hairless cat known as the Minskin.
Then?
I'd turn my garage into a rescue menagerie for all furless felines.
And when that gets too full?
I'll purchase land in the Catskills for them to sunbathe in hairless abandon.
Only cats.
All hair-free animals looking to roam in bald, beautiful peace.
Can I come?
Do you have hair?
New York Lottery. Can you imagine? Play today. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
John, what are you doing? Get in my car. So why are you walking to work?
Thanks, man. It's these insanely high gas prices. They're draining my bank account. I can't afford to drive anymore.
Dude, don't walk. Just do what I do because I never pay full price for gas anymore. I use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Oh, wait. You're telling me you get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code PHIL. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL.
Let's roll. It's your day. 800-919-3776. Knicks headed to the finals. Let's hit Giovanna out in Islip next. ESPN New York. What's up, Giovanna?
Hey, how you guys doing? First off, I love your show. You guys are awesome. Second, I am so happy you got finally a New York team made it to the made it to a finals. I've been waiting for a New York team for years to make it. I'm so happy. I'm really am, and I hope that Jalen, Brunson, and Carl Towns bring a championship home. I'm really excited about it, guys, really.
Giovanna,
I want to shout out to...
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
I was just going to say, I mean, it's been ridiculously awesome to watch, but at the same time, I don't know that any of us could have expected it to happen the way that it has.
I expected it. I did.
You didn't expect to win by 30 points a game? Come on.
Yeah, I expected it because my friend Caleb's a big, my whole group of friends, Joey, I want to shout out quick, Caleb, Joey, Tony, Dave, and Connor, they're such big Knicks fans. And let me tell you, I knew they were going to win by 30 points because I knew James was not going to do good, and the guy they called Spider-Man didn't do good.
No, he didn't play well either.
She's right about the guy they call James.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't exactly have to forecast that one. That wasn't that hard to figure out.
It is amazing the consistency with which he has come up small in big spots throughout his career, especially considering the career he's had.
The staggering number that came up a few weeks ago that has only grown.
Happened again last night.
Yeah. The amount of times in the postseason that James Harden has had more turnovers than field goals. And I believe it's somewhere around 33 now, if I'm not mistaken. It was 29 coming into this post.
Last night he doubled it up. I think it was 2 field goals and 5 turnovers.
Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable.
He's so bad in these situations. Yeah. And then you hear James Harden last night say this. This is just amazing.
Reflecting on this series, how much better, if they're better, are the Knicks than you?
I mean, I can't even answer that question honestly.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was 4-0, but I don't think we had a chance as far as our best shot, you know, from a standpoint of the circumstances. You know, obviously they dominated us 4-0, but yeah, I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question. Just because genuinely I do feel like we are the better team, but you know, series wise, you know, it didn't show it. So it's a tough question to answer.
No, it's not. Not a tough question to answer at all. You're not anywhere near the team that the Knicks are, and you can talk about the fact that they only finished a game behind them during the regular season. What you got was thoroughly embarrassed here in the postseason.
The only game that you had a chance to win was game 1 when you led by 22 points with less than 8 minutes to go. You couldn't hold that off. The other 3 games you lost by double figures. Oh, and by the way, somehow you managed to lose the first game even though it went into overtime also by double figures. You were nowhere near as good or better than the Knicks were in this series.
Johnny Blaze over on the live chat on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. The guy they called James is a phony. More like a fraud, I would say, than a phony, because a fraud is a player. You know, phony is just, you know, who he is. That's not phony. That's just he doesn't really care what he's saying. And as Pat said earlier, he got over that loss pretty quick.
Yeah.
He got over that loss pretty quick.
I bet he's having a great day today.
I'm sure he's totally fine. Kevin in Hillsborough is next on ESPN New York. Kevin, what's going on?
Gentlemen, good morning. How are you guys?
Outstanding. How are you?
Hopefully feeling same way. Really quick, last caller talking about James Harden. Well, not last caller. Just the last thing. He is crazy. I don't know what he was thinking. That question was, are we not better than them? Of course we were. And where is D in Queens? Please. All right. That's not my point.
The jury's kind of out on the whole D thing right now, because I've had some people chime in and say, you know, I don't want to hear from D today. Stay away, D. You know, I don't want your negativity today.
No,
D did chime in. D did check in yesterday and said, yeah, the Knicks are going to win, blah, blah, blah. But really, let's talk about this instead and how bad this has been. No. I think that people, they don't want the negativity today from any of the fans who are the haters.
No,
they don't want that.
No, you're right. So I'm here to talk about the positive. And the positive is he's unprecedented right now. This team, as long as I've lived them forever, but this is something that I could pass down generationally. This team that is generation. My son is 7 years old, and he's finally getting into it.
I know that we're breaking up. I didn't get all of it, but you were talking about your son there toward the end. I still don't know that until well after this is over, we're going to have a full appreciation of what we've been watching. And I know, listen, something may change in the finals, but the appreciation for what has happened thus far, I don't know that you can fully love it and live it in the moment like you will down the line, not when things are not going right, but when you get the chance to reflect on what it was and how amazing it was in the moment.
It's still hard to come to grips with the level of dominance. You know, at the beginning of the playoffs, if you said the Knicks were going to make the finals, I don't think that would have been a huge shock or a huge stretch. There were four teams that were, you know, around the same plane just in terms of the odds to make the finals. So any one of them, if they made the NBA Finals, would not have shocked you. But the shocking piece of this is how they have done it. I think this is the part that have people, a little daydreamy about, unsure of exactly what they're seeing because we've never seen anything to this level before.
So I asked this question before the show. I don't know if it was before you were here or not, but we were talking, John Winthrop, bunch of the other guys, Tom, Boombaka, Ray. And this is an odd thing for me to ask, but I think there might be something to it. The playoffs normally bring a certain level of energy to you as a fan because you know that you're going to be on the edge of your seat so much. And for any team, it's rare that you just see somebody, especially around here, just completely roll through someone else. And there hasn't been any real type of surprise in the outcome of these series as it's gone along because of how the Knicks have played. Do you feel like people can appreciate it as much right now when they don't have the emotional roller coaster that a more difficult series brings, where you have to go 6 and 7 games and every possession is, live and die with it? Like, it almost feels like it's been, and this is not a complaint, but it's been too matter of fact with the way it has all happened that maybe it doesn't feel like it has quite that same playoff intensity to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm making something out of nothing there, but that's kind of the way it feels like to me.
I hadn't thought of that. I think it's a great thought. I think it's a great point, and I do think that there is something to that. And Knicks fans, who have been with this team for a long time, that's how they consume playoff basketball. The way that you described, 6-7 game series. You get to the end of these games, every single possession is life and death, and life or death. And let's be honest, as we well know, more often than not, historically, when it gets down to those 6 or 7 games and it gets down to those final few possessions, historically speaking, it has not gone the Knicks' way. So this is completely opposite from what Knicks fans are used to experiencing during the playoffs.
800-919-3776. Travis at the DMV is next. ESPN New York. Travis, what's going on?
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate y'all holding the space here today. I just want to say, so I was 10 years old when in '99, and ever since then it was just like these high expectations, like star players, high-end executives, Phil Jackson and Isaiah Thomas. Like, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. And it was never it. It was like great expectations and the bottom of lows. Just really super excited to see what we're looking like right now, where it's like we're hitting on all those expectations. Finally, they're coming together. All the moves are looking like they worked out. And it's a great time to be a Knicks fan. So this is what it means to, I think, all the Knicks fans that we're out here with.
Understood. And I get it for the fans of your age, the ones that were 10, that were 5 when the Knicks went to the finals last time. Because you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it. Last couple of years, you've seen some really good years, and they've been exciting. But it hasn't been this. It hasn't been get to the finals. Last year it was the conference finals, and it was a heartbreaker of a loss, and it started in Game 1 with Halliburton. But you haven't seen your team get this far, and I do get the sense that they are enjoying as much of this as they can for that particular part of the fan base.
And I would even take it a step further. Fans of his age, yes, but let's take it to fans of my age, and I'm 46 years old. So I got to see the 2 runs to the finals. 94, I was a freshman in high school. 99, I was in college. I remember chapter and verse of all of those runs. But you didn't get to see a championship. So fans of our age, they want to see something more also. Like, we've seen the team get to the finals. This is, let's be honest. This is the team's best chance to win an NBA championship since 1973. 94 was a good chance. It was on the tip of their fingers. They weren't able to get it done. They went in 99. That's the year we're comparing this to because that was the most recent time they went to the finals. The Knicks did not have a chance to win that NBA championship. They weren't. The Spurs had Duncan and Robinson, and the Knicks had Ewing in street clothes. The Knicks, their championship that year was getting to the finals. There was a great run. It captivated the city. The last time it has felt this way was 1994. And because of the way the Knicks are playing, you can't say anything other than they have a better chance to win the championship now.
We finish with more of your calls, more of your comments, 800-919-3776. It is all about you today. The Knicks are headed to the finals. Michael Kay is coming up at the top of the hour. Pat O'Keefe in for Bart on ESPN New York.
Partner with Amazon Hub Delivery to earn extra revenue for your business with your business. Assist with local Amazon deliveries and get paid for each package you deliver. When you become a partner, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area on a schedule that works for you. You'll gain extra revenue, increase exposure for your business, and connect with your neighbors. Plus, it's easy to get started with no delivery experience, long-term contracts, or startup costs required. If you're interested in learning more, visit Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
If you think a new central air conditioning system is out of your budget, think again. Slomin's is here to change the game with their preseason super sale. They're now offering cutting-edge 18-SEER 2026 refrigerant-compliant R45-4B systems expertly installed by their certified technicians, all at the lowest prices of the year. That's right. Get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Plus, they're including a comprehensive service plan for 5 years, including annual system checks, filter replacement, and refrigerant to keep your AC running smoothly all summer long. Call Slomin's today at 516-932-7000 for your free estimate. But hurry, these cool savings won't last. That's 516-932-7000 or visit ac.slomans.com. 18-month promo period, no payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. The offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
Some stages celebrate. This one tests everything. Every drive, every approach, every putt. Pressure builds, resilience matters, and history waits for the bold. In June, the 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the Hamptons at the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience the world's best golfers as they compete on one of the sport's most storied stages. Daily tickets are available now on SeatGeek. Don't just watch greatness. Experience it live at the 126th U.S. Open.
The New York City Department of Correction offers countless career opportunities, from specialized units to leadership roles that support public safety and change lives for the better. It starts with one step: registering for the New York City Correction Officer exam. Earn over $109,000 after just 5.5 years. Benefits on day one, job security, pension at any age after 22 years of service. Go to nyc.gov/joinDOC or search Join DOC. One career, many opportunities. Registration ends Friday. Take the test.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
For the first time since 1999, the Knicks are headed to the NBA Finals.
And the 27-year wait is over. They will play for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. 4 wins away from an NBA championship.
This group got tighter and more accountable as the days got closer to June.
Thanks to all our New York Knicks partners this season, including New York Presbyterian, NYC Department of Corrections, Boost Mobile, and the Parisman Firm on ESPN New York.
Bart Carlin, ESPN New York, and on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, where you can make comments and we will get them in. 800-919-3776. Eat It Up Game talking about the Cavs. Honestly, they looked like a college team of 16 against a 1 in this series at times. I mean, I get it. I understand why you'd think that way, because it was The stats that have been thrown out here, the fact that the Knicks won by 37 last night, and in their closing games of the postseason, that actually brought the average down. It's just ridiculous.
51, 30, and now 37. Just in closeout games on the road. And again, and I heard this.
And you keep saying it, and I keep forgetting to say it, on the road.
On the road. Breen said this, so I'm going to credit him on the broadcast last night. Brunson did not play a single second of any of the 3 closeout games in the fourth quarter. Unbelievable.
In the fourth quarter. Luke in Connecticut next, ESPN New York. Luke, what's going on?
What's going on, guys? First things first, I think I shed a tear last night. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I grew up with Damian Dotson, Kristaps Porzingis tearing his ACL. I mean, just terrible basketball.
Damian
and last
Dotson.
night,
Oof.
I mean, last night we saw. I mean, I'll bring up Emmanuel Mudiay. Why not Emmanuel Mudiay?
Yep.
I mean, come on. And last night, I think I shed a tear watching that. I mean, I can't even get past it. But mainly, I wanted to talk to you guys about the next 2 to 3 years, since we have 9 days to talk about it. What do you guys think the window is? And do you think we go for Giannis? I personally don't think so. I think we keep this team. I think even if we lose in the finals, we should keep this team. I love this team. I think there's great chemistry. I just want to know about your guys' long-term views on the Knicks.
The only way that I would get in the discussion on Giannis is if it was clear in the finals that would be what I would need to get over the hump against either of those teams. But I don't know how you can justify doing it. Like, you would have to get your doors blown off and really dominated on the interior.
It would probably be by the Spurs, too, I would think, because, Giannis would nobody matches up with Wemby. But,
right. We talk so much about how the Knicks were constructed to beat the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to go over the hump and win a championship, I don't know if you can definitively construct a team that would be in another conference. Like, if that's really how you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I think that's tough to do.
Yeah, because it's 4 rounds down the road. You don't know who you're going to match up with. The Knicks are in the NBA Finals right now, and they still don't know who they're going to match up with. They're 2 completely different teams. You've got the pressure defense of Oklahoma City, or the freak nature of Wemby in the middle.
I think it's probably, and we haven't even mentioned it today, but we shouldn't be, because it's not about that. It might be the last we've heard of Giannis.
I think so. You know what? I think the window's closed on him to the Knicks.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Giannis is anymore. Well, he hasn't gotten through a playoff series since he won the championship in 2021.
The window on the Knicks is a more interesting question, because if you look at the primary pieces about who is under contract for next year and who is not, Mitchell Robinson is a free agent, obviously, at the end of the year. Jordan Clarkson is a free agent. Landry Shamet is a free agent. The Robinson thing, I don't expect them, and Alvarado has a player option for next year, but at $4.5 million, I don't know if he's going to take that or not. But the majority of the centerpieces of what you're doing are coming back. I don't know if they're going to, what Mitchell Robinson's going to get north of 20 a year, I would think. What's that number look like? He's making 12.9 right now. What does that number look like, and are you able to do that? It's second highest payroll in the league already.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's as expensive a starting 5 as you could find.
I think the window's a couple of years.
Yeah.
The window is not just this year and out. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that you treat this like you're going to be back here next year. You can't do it like that.
You know what? And obviously they haven't, but they have handled this. The expectations, the accolades that have been thrown their way, they have handled this perfectly with just such a business-like approach. The Knicks themselves, the team themselves, from the head coach to Jalen Brunson to all the players, they have not stepped out of line with anything they've said once during this entire time. They're just keeping their heads down. They're doing their job, and that's all you could ask for.
Let's hit who's next. We got Lee in Manhattan next on ESPN New York. Lee, what's going on?
Fellas.
What up, brother?
Enjoying these blue skies. Enjoying every minute of it.
As you
Let
should
me
be.
just say, okay, I've been there from the beginning. From the first one to the second one to the last 2. Okay? When Cleveland gave us game 1. I talked to so many people who say they turned the game off. And what they heard the next day, I'm like, well, you know what? This is why I am a diehard fan. Never have I turned the game off on my New York Knicks. I can even say that, unfortunately, about my other diehard team, which you already know, the other blue and orange. But like I'm saying to you now, I'm going to ride this high as long as I can, because for the simple reason, until we lose one, that's when I'll wake up. Go New York, go, baby.
They're loving it, and I get it. And there will be a lot of people over the next couple of days. I've been there since the beginning. Nobody cares. Everybody knows there is a massive diehard fan base of this team, and there is not a team in the city that would unite a city like the Knicks. There's not, because there's Yankees, Mets, there's Giants, Jets, there's all those things. The Knicks are the team that all the NBA fans are really in New York going to rally around for the most part, and that you not even for the most part, that they're going to rally around them for all of it.
I have to question anybody who would turn the game off. I mean, we heard the caller a couple calls ago talking about living through Emmanuel Mudiay and Damian Dotson. If you've lived through that, how can you turn a game off when your team is in game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals?
I understand. And it's funny, like you were there. There were some people down 22 with 7.5 left. Not a lot. There were some people leaving the building. There were, I'd say, a couple hundred that were leaving the building at that timeout right around under 8-ish. And I can't even imagine what they felt like the next day for having left.
Yeah.
But nobody's leaving right now.
Nobody's leaving.
And nobody's turning the game off when they're rolling through these teams. You'll happily watch the fourth quarter with DRY. and
Give me more Pacone Dadier.
Yeah, exactly. No problem. Phil, North Carolina next, ESPN New York. Phil.
All right, buddy. Talked to you years ago. But anyway, I think what really hurts the Knicks, not as the team, but just in general, the celebrity thing. I mean, come on, enough already. Spike Lee being on the court and all that stuff. I mean, we get it. You've been a fan for a long time. I'm 62 years old, so I remember when they retired Bill Bradley's number. I mean, stop it already. Stop giving these guys so much credit. Put it all on the team. Nobody cares about what the
nobody's
fans
giving any of the celebrities credit for the Knicks winning right now.
Yeah, but Chris, they put them on all the time.
But here's the thing: you want to knock the celebrities who were there for it? All of those guys are there during the season. They're there to watch the Timberwolves. They're there to watch the Grizzlies.
I get it. Mariska Hargitay goes to all the games, but does the real hardcore fan really care about that?
Well, they're all hardcore fans with you, too. You cannot sit – listen, I don't think the hardcore fan is even remotely thinking about the celebrities today. I think the hardcore fan, for the most part, probably digs the fact that a guy who has a life like Timothy Chalamet has
the same interest as him.
And is live and die like him, that he just took Kylie Jenner to Cleveland.
For the first time.
Is it Kylie or Kendall? I think it's Kylie.
I think it's Kylie.
Yeah. But to Cleveland for the first time.
As Richard Jefferson said last night, all these celebrities are in Cleveland for the first time. And I thought he was going to say to see a game, but no, for the first time.
No, young socialite, you know what I want to do tonight? I want to go to Cleveland to watch the Knicks. And no, we can't. They won't even let us sit in the first row. That's what I want to do. You want to rip those guys? You want to rip Tracy Morgan? Go nuts. I don't think a Knick fan does anything but relate to those guys because they show the emotion as fans that you do.
Was that the best nitpick of the day?
That was probably we ended on the biggest nitpick.
There's not much.
That's not even a nit to pick.
No,
that's.
I don't think there is one right now.
Well, it's been an amazing run, and it continues. You've got another week off, so get yourself relaxed and ready. And enjoy every bit of it. Michael K. is up next. Hey, thanks for coming in today and doing this, filling in for Bart.
What a day to do it.
Yeah.
Pleasure
awesome
sitting
to
alongside
have
you.
Pat O'Keefe getting it done for us today, so you didn't have to hear Bart. He's got a little oral surgery situation going on, getting some wisdom teeth taken out. We'll see if he's able to speak tomorrow. God willing, he won't be able to pronounce the word Cunningham. Bart Carlin, ESPN New York.
The 2026 U.S. Open Tennis Championships are back, where the world's greatest city meets the world's greatest tennis players. Fan Week begins August 23rd. Experience the Mixed Doubles Championship on the 25th and 26th. And the U.S. Open Singles Championship starts Sunday, August 30th. All tickets on sale this Thursday, May 28th at usopen.org. The U.S. Open. Spectacular awaits.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did your dog just get groomed? She's got a pep in her step.
Actually, she's gotten famous. She's one of 18 dogs on the new Jersey Dog Scratch-Offs from the New Jersey Lottery.
What?